Hi, everybody.
I don't have a button to unmute Discord. Maybe I should rearrange my stream deck, but...
Edit up your stream deck a bit.
well, I only have so many buttons, okay?
But you can streamline.
I have to
You
pick
can
new
pick
ones.
the important stuff.
Ooh, Kaz D&D. Is this West Marches, Roval? Always a
Ooh.
fun time. Always a
Hell
glorious time. Well, we're just chilling
Glorious
today.
time indeed. Yes, welcome to our comic corner, which has been dubbed Comic and Chill, CNC, if you will. It's going to be a very relaxed night because, we have stuff to catch up on comic-wise, and I also have my first day of internship, so I am exhausted.
Yeah, and I definitely need to do comic stuff. Really bad. I've been slacking. Oof.
Ori.
Hey. Not like you've been moving along.
Nah, script 6 definitely still needs, but I have been making questions for the trivia game for next week.
Yes.
So
So,
everybody look forward to that along with Outcast's first anniversary. Oh my
yes,
gosh,
a week from
so
today.
exciting.
A week from
Holy
today.
crap,
Guys,
that's
it'll be
so
1
wild.
year.
Oh,
A week from today, there was one more update the Monday before
incredible.
the anniversary. And
Yes.
it'll be a year in
And
just
there
a
will be
week.
questions on the trivia related to that next entry, so
Yes.
it's in your best
There will be
interest to read
questions
it.
on the trivia related to every entry. Why am I not finding the folder that I want?
Well, maybe not every entry.
Okay. You have to read them all, okay? It's throughout. Every single one that's been uploaded.
You
Okay.
definitely need to read them to follow the story. I will say that much.
Well, yeah. And there will also be, of course, the updates going up. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, probably the Sunday before and not that Monday, just because, like, I'm home.
Yes. Just to make us a little less crazy.
Well, I can't like schedule it, you know. I have to like physically go in and like replace them with the new stuff. So
Oof.
that's why it'll be this weekend.
Yes, guys, please read the updated Outcast
Yes,
version.
they are not necessary, but they are very good.
Necessary,
there's more art. There's more words. It's not just
more
like
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
A little bit more context, if
Nothing
you
is
will.
retconned. Nothing is lost if you don't
nothing
do
retconned.
it. Like, you won't be confused if you don't go back and read it, but, you know, it's not like there's that many entries.
It provides a second context.
Yeah, a little more clarity, and again, some
like,
cool...
What if Mars didn't write the Senate hangout during midterm week? This alternate timeline, if you will.
Yes, there are 4 new panels, 4 completely new panels that will be uploaded.
Some new lines, more dialogue, change dialogue, so... Especially with Senate, so check it out.
Indeed.
I think Senate had the biggest line change out of all of them.
Well, I mean, it's not like Aster talked very much, you know?
No, but Senate has that whole spiel about like the treehouse and everything.
No, not this week, Roval. Next week there'll be an update.
A little slightly different.
A new entry next week.
Exciting.
Yes, we do only post every other week for both of our sanities. Mostly mine, but both of ours.
No, definitely both of ours. both is good.
Both is good indeed. However, I got to doodle today. That was nice. So, okay, so we gotta... Let me see if I can make my headphones do a thing first.
Ooh, this is so exciting. Your headphones can whistle? That was different. Okay. Well, guys, I'm not sure where Ori is, but
I'm sorry. My headphones didn't do the thing, so we're
Your
back to here.
headphones whistled. I heard like a...
Oh, yes. They do that, and sometimes they don't do that, but you know, that's what I was trying to figure out. But
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's apparently a known thing with my model of headphones. After 2 years, they sort of had this issue, and it's like a feedback on the like mic and
Oh,
the noise, the active noise canceling. So
I
I just can't use the active noise canceling, which is sad because I got so used to talking with the active noise canceling on that my voice sounds weird without it. But c'est la vie, such is life.
uh, you must go back to the normie way
I
of
know, I
talking and
know.
listening.
I'll get myself new ones eventually. But yeah, so my day at work today, there has been this job that is so the way that my job doesn't really have an office in the normal sense. I go to new locations on site at addresses every single day. So
One's
I
off her car.
yeah, literally, my office is my car. And so I never go to an office. I get a new address every single day, and it like tells me where to go. And now there's a wide area that I can have to cover, with the furthest so far being without traffic an hour away. Now with traffic, obviously that changes, and depending on when I actually leave in the morning, that depends. The traffic depends there. Point is that this is the furthest job I've been to. The first time I went to it, I'm pretty sure it was last week. I drove an hour, and yes, it only took an hour, which was great. So I drove an hour. I have to get there at 7 a.m., right? So I woke up at 5:30. I left the house at 6. I get there right after 7. It was fine. The crew is not there. That's fine. They're probably late. I'm
Maybe
waiting
hit
in my
some
car.
traffic, you never know.
Yeah, I'm waiting in my car. My manager calls me at like 7:40-ish, I think, and is like, yeah, they canceled the job. So go to this new job, which is
Not
back
again.
close to home. Well, no, this is the first time. Back close to home.
I thought they did a second
And it
time
took-
too. I was like, what?
An hour and a half to drive back to the new place. Okay. So I mean, I got paid that whole time, so it wasn't like a big deal. I got paid for 8 hours, and that included 2.5 hours of driving and another half hour of waiting. So they put me back on that job today. So again, I wake up at 5:30 a.m. I leave the house at 6 o'clock. I drive down there. Traffic is way worse today. Not sure why, until it turns out a truck just broke down in the middle. I'm a consulting arborist, Pastry Puff. Yeah, so
Wait
the
a
truck broke
second.
down.
I'm Ori. I'm gonna message you privately. I think I might have ran into the same trouble.
Actually, that's hilarious. But so truck broke down. Turns out, so it added a half hour to my trip. It was an hour and a half in the end.
I'm waiting with bated breath for Ori to answer me in the DMs.
And
Okay.
yeah, I'm very not near you anymore, Mars.
Well, I found it so funny because literally there was the exact same problem driving to my internship this morning.
Yeah. Well, so truck broke down. Finally pass it. Clear sailings, easy. I get there like 7:30-ish. No crew. Again, fine. There's traffic, whatever. 8 o'clock rolls around. Nobody's here. I call my manager. Hey, manager, nobody's here. And he's like, yeah, well, normally this is like the time where I would say, yeah, scrap it. But this type of crew, the utility crew, is notorious for being late. So just chill there till 9 o'clock and see what happens. Because they like confirmed with me last night. Like, this is my manager talking. They're like, they confirmed with me that the job was here last night. So just hang around till 9 o'clock. All right, 9 o'clock rolls around. Still no crew. Still no crew. I call my manager back. Hey, there's no crew. All right, thanks for letting me know. Let me see if I can get in touch with somebody. Okay, he calls some people. Calls me back like not even 5 minutes later. Yeah, so they canceled. Don't know why they didn't tell me, but turns out that the supervisor is like 20 minutes away from you right now, and he wants to meet with you just to talk about where the new poll's going in. And I'm like, okay, he's like, just hang out there and, bill him for the whole time, 7 to whenever you're done. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Oh, yeah. So the guy comes over and literally 30 seconds of like, Yeah, we want to put the pole here. Oh yeah, that's actually exactly where I would have asked you to put it if, these, like, something sounds great to me. This is way better than where it is. It's like, okay, cool, great,
You drove like
done.
an hour out for a 30-second job.
So I got 3 hours on my timesheet done by just sitting in my car getting this sketch and having this, like, 5-minute conversation with this guy. And
That's
then
pretty
I had
nice.
to drive back to closer to home, which is always good. And it only took the calculated shortest time of 50 minutes, which is great. No traffic. It was epic. And then I had a fairly normal day after that.
That's
But,
amazing.
Pastry Puff asked what's my job, and I'll go into a little more depth. I am a consulting arborist, and basically what that means is that I am a certified arborist. I took a test, I went to school for it, I had a certain amount of years doing arborist things, and hello, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
And I took a test and I passed, and now I'm certified. And to keep that certification, I do have to do, like, a certain amount of, like, continuing learning credits every year. Continuing education credits. So it is like an ongoing internship license to maintain. And because of this, a lot of, like, so we have a parks department which regulates all of the trees that are owned by the city. And they, trees cost money, and bigger trees cost a lot more money. So they actually care fairly much about the relative health of the trees, because if the one is damaged to a point where they would have to remove it, that not only costs money to remove, but that they lost, like, asset money. So whenever there are things that happen that involve digging, they need to be permitted, and to a certain, so if something is dug roughly, without getting too into it, within 50 feet of a city-owned tree, it needs a permit. And then, if something is dug within what is called the drip line, which basically means underneath the branches of the tree, because that's also where the roots live, if something is dug there, they need a certified arborist, like myself, to be on site monitoring the digging. And I have to write a report about the digging and take, like, pictures and measurements and stuff. So I have to take pictures and measurements to submit permits, and then I have to take pictures and measurements to make sure that their digging is not harmful to the tree. Basically, they can't cut roots bigger than a certain size, and I'm there to, like, monitor that and make sure that they follow those rules. So honestly, overall, it's a pretty cushy job, and I'm happy about it. I ain't gonna lie. This is like top tier shit.
That is stellar.
And it's literally like a 5-person company. That's including me. So very, very small, which is really cool. And they allow me to get these continuing education credits that I need to keep my license I think it's every like 4 years, every 3 years, something like that. And yeah, and then in theory I can get more certifications, which make me more money, because nice. And then after 10 years of being an arborist, I can be what is called, well, it's less than 10 years, but I can eventually be something what is called a master arborist, which is another certification. But you have to have like a number of years on the jobs, and the more certifications you get, the less years you need, and it's a whole thing. Like, there's a lot of math involved. But basically then, at that point, I can testify in court as a specialist.
Ooh.
And you can get paid the big bucks for
Live your
doing that.
ace attorney dreams.
Honestly, that could be like the end goal, because that's like you make a lot of money and it's like pretty easy. You're just answering questions.
I feel like
trees,
go for it.
which is like, yeah, boy. I mean, I want to get more certifications anyway. Art therapy. That sounds really cool, Mason.
Ooh.
That would be very, very cool to do. Some type of wizard. I mean, basically, Pastry Puff. Basically. I'm a tree wizard. Some might say that's a druid. No, it's different. Very, very different.
No, it's very different. Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, it's really neat. It definitely makes the like 2 years of hell that I put up with as my first arborist job. Pretty fucking worth it.
As it
Like
should be. You
uh,
should be in a job where you're happy now.
yeah, I got to sketch today finally. I mean, technically I've had time before, but I've just never. I definitely had a bit of like a block with it, and like I just couldn't get myself to really do it. I did like a sketch page, but I wasn't really into it, and I finally had like an idea, and then I finally was like going, and then it just started flowing. And it actually has a lot of little mini comics, which is not something I've normally ever done in my sketchbook, but probably will be a future thing
But
moving
it
forward.
works out pretty well. I mean, now we have some Kofi stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's also a reason why I'm like I want to sketch in my sketchbook, but I also want to sketch in my sketchbook because it is different than digital art. You know, you can get very
Oh, yeah.
close, but I obviously don't have all the tools. So it does help me be a better artist in a way because it forces me to not rely on things like undo or transform or liquefy and things like
Yeah.
that. I actually
You
have
get
to draw the
hone your
other eye.
skills a little bit.
And on top of that, it just makes you a lot easier with being like not perfect, I guess. It sort of takes out that like because you know, and I'll be honest, at least the way that the internet portrays it, I'm kind of an outlier in how much I like my own art as an artist. But if you like your own art and you like your sketches, then it really just shows you that it's like, oh wow, it doesn't have to be perfect because I like this sketch that is definitely not perfect, but I still really like how it looks. And so it means that like it doesn't have to be perfect later on.
See, if you're happy with it, I feel like that's a win.
You're so close, Pastry Puff. You've put in
keep
all
going.
this effort. You could do it.
We believe in you.
Yeah, animating is one of those things where like my brain is always like, yes, Ori, animate. Animation is so cool.
So good.
Animation
and
is so
so
fun. And
but
I have
the
fun.
process of it sounds like hell.
I have fun for about like I could probably go if I'm really into it and like it's just flowing or it's like easy. I can probably go for like a good 4 to 6 hours. Once that stops, once we get past that point, I'm like, wow, this is hell. This is literal hell. Why is this not over yet? I will
You're
also
like,
say
this is gross. Why am I doing this? Horrible.
Yeah.
Ew.
And so thus the thing has to be really good for me to like push through that hump and be like, no, you're gonna go back to this and you're gonna finish this. But like the Milano like hair reel or short where he like you have old Milano where you don't know too much about his past yet, past Milano.
Milano,
but then he
if you will.
flips and he has his hair, one, really pretty, two, really cool like idea that I had for to do it that way. Like I really liked that. And three, I had just learned about smear.
Super fun.
Well, I guess I hadn't just learned about smear frame. I knew what smear frames were and like what they were, but I had never like tried to do it. And the Luke at me reel, I was like, we're doing this
like
because it's easier. And
I
was like, wow, this actually looks really good. So smear frame time. Now everything has smear frames. And then I overexerted myself on the next one, which was the 4 types of husband, and I regretted everything. I really toned back my idea for that because I just could not do it so much.
You were like, oh, this was a poor decision.
Mason, that is such a vibe. I am such a terrible person with change. Horrendous. Horrific. I hate change. I'm really bad. How bad am I? I'm gonna expose myself right now. One time I came home from like high school or something and my parents had rearranged the furniture while I was gone and I cried.
Oh, the worst.
And I cried. I couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. It was
like,
too much.
What do you mean this didn't stay the same
when I was gone? It wasn't right. It was wrong.
So wrong.
Oh, but this is better for XYZ ABC. And then I think my parents
I don't
realized that this might be a problem, so they sort of like, I'm at least gonna say that it was purposeful. They sort of weaned me out of it a little bit, or like desensitized me a little bit, by we always had to change the living room furniture rearrangement for like Christmas because of the
Mm-hmm.
location of the Christmas tree. So I
Oh,
definitely
that's
got
funny.
more used to it, but still, like, I don't like it. And thus, this means that's why the only reason we learned Pathfinder is because Dylan was hella into it, and we were like, yeah, we'll learn Pathfinder if you teach us how to do it.
He
Like,
was willing to coach us through a
yeah,
lot
like
of
otherwise
it.
we were not learning Pathfinder.
Without that, we were not going to
Oh,
do it.
yes, Mason, it's so terrible. I hate that. I hate that. I hate so this is why I hate getting a new phone, because now my apps are in the wrong
Oh,
place. But I'm also too lazy to try and like suss it. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it's in your brain that it's wrong, but you don't know cognitively enough to like be able to
it's
put it
like
back.
it's
You know what I'm saying?
wrong, but why?
Well, it's like okay, these belong here, but like it's still wrong. But I don't have like a photographic grid of where all my apps are, right?
Mhm.
And so it's definitely like
You
weird
just
when you have to
playing and
do it.
find
And
them
I'm
that's
so
right.
lazy that I just kind of accept and move on. But it's rough for that first couple of like week or two when you have your phone trying to figure it out. Ugh, terrible. Same
Tis a
with when you'd like
process.
change phone brands, right? Because if you I'm not even talking Android versus Apple. I'm talking like if you have a Samsung and then you get a Google phone, like they're different, you know? That was a whole thing. What else was I gonna say?
That it is, that it is.
Something else I was gonna say and I've forgotten.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Ori, remember.
I'll remember.
Oh.
Change sketches. Where was I? I was going somewhere. I thought I was going
I
somewhere.
thought you were going somewhere too. Now I'm not so sure.
We'll do it this way. Yeah,
Ah,
where was
that's
I going
okay,
with
Ori.
that?
I'll come back.
You're talking about Blender. That's what it. Okay,
Oh, there we
bring it back
go.
to it. So me learning new like art programs is really daunting and really like something I don't like to do. The only reason that I was able to make the jump from Medibang Paint to Clip Studio Paint was because I was taking a online class about comics from a webcomic artist that I already liked and followed, and they used Clip Studio Paint, and specifically they were using Clip Studio Paint in the thing. So I was originally using like the free version, like the free trial, because I was trying to feel it out, but the free trial didn't have copy paste. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to use this. Everybody says it's really good for like comics and stuff. I'm just gonna bite the bullet. I mean, it's only $60, which, you know, in the grand scheme of things, is relatively cheap for like a really good art program.
Yeah,
And a perpetual license at the time.
it
And
gets the job done.
so I bought it and I learned it through doing the class. Literally the only reason. And so I really, 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 really want to learn how to 3D model, but it's just like starting is just really daunting because of like having to learn the whole Blender UI and shit. I'm just like, oh god, I don't want to have to do that.
It's just a whole process. And it's
Yeah.
like, ew, no, why?
And it's one of those things where it's like it's not bad when you get to it, but I hate the getting there because I hate the like where is it? I learned something new about DaVinci today because I fucked it up.
Oh yeah? What'd you learn?
So I learned that there's a little toggle. Basically, okay, I feel like I have to explain a little bit. Basically, in DaVinci Resolve, which is my video editing software of choice, it is free. I mean, it has a free version, which doesn't have some features, but really nothing that like 90% of people are ever gonna need. So it's free, and I've been using it for free for a year now, over a year.
Very nice.
And but basically, when you delete a section, if you do it properly, it should shove all the rest of the video together. It should smush them together. So you don't have like a blank space. It should shove them together and they meet.
I feel like the keyword here is
nice.
should.
Yeah. It's worked every single time with one little glitch, which I figured out, which was there's a little toggle where you can link and unlink clips. Like just have the toggle on. And if it's not linked, then it won't do it. And that's easy. That's fine. We're chilling. Never had an issue. Until recently. And only in
Oh
one of the
no.
timelines, for whatever reason, it just wouldn't do it. It wouldn't smush them together properly. It would like smush part of it,
Really?
or it would smush whatever. And I was just like dying, and I
Huh.
was just crying. And I was like, why is this not working? How did I fuck it up? And I finally
Why is the
figured out
program
what I
fighting
did.
you?
I finally
What'd you
figured out what
do?
I did. There's like another different little toggle on the side of each track that can be untoggled, which I had
Oh,
done for some
jeez.
reason that I don't recall, but that being untoggled made it stupid. So,
That's annoying as hell.
mm-hmm. So yeah.
Jeez.
That is,
If I were an artist, I would have been crying too.
yeah. But it all worked out in the end. I'm happy I figured it out, because that means that I don't have to worry about it now. Because I was like, oh no, it's a thing, because I'm using a program that makes transcriptions of the subtitles for me, so it cuts down on my editing time. And they're obviously not perfect.
Ori
but
is being
I'm
incredibly
trying to be
resourceful, you
efficient.
guys.
I'm trying to, necessity breeds innovation, or whatever it is, right? And
I think that is the quote, yeah.
yeah. And so I did this whole new thing, and I thought that somehow fucked it up. So I was like concerned that like these two things were gonna clash, and I was gonna have to change my entire workflow even more, which I've already had to change to compensate for this. But thankfully I figured it out, and we're not stupid anymore, so we're good.
Oh, thank God. So happy. This is the best
Very happy.
timeline.
Indeed. So how's everybody been today? I know Pastry Puff has gotten to chill.
Yes. How is it going, everybody? Oh, okay. There we go.
My parents are driving down to visit my grandmother as a surprise.
Oh, nice.
I'm envious because I can't go.
Oh. It's okay. Next time.
It's not okay. They get this extra one and I don't. Are you learning Italian now, Oscar? Oscar.
Ooh.
So, you would like this story. Well, first of all, it's very funny. So, just the nature of a lot of like manual labor in the area that we work, a lot of people speak Spanish. A lot of them. And most of the people that I've worked with in the past have spoke Spanish in a way that I expect, with a Spanish accent and words that I learned in my Spanish class from high school and all this sort of stuff. So I can follow along pretty well, and I'm pretty good at it. However, now, a lot of the people that I work with now on the cruise speak Spanish with an Italian accent, which is really weird. It's really, really, really weird. And so you hear them, and I'm definitely like, this is Spanish, right? They're using Spanish words. They're using Spanish, like, stuff and everything. It's definitely, and I took Italian in college for like 2 semesters. So like, I do know like Italian a little bit. So I can tell the difference. And then you love the accent. But so they're Spanish speaking with an Italian accent, and it's like really wild, because in the area that we are in, there is a fair amount of like Italian people, right? It is just the area that I live in now. There's a fair amount of Italian people, and I was like, so like, I wonder why that was or whatever. I met I spoke with for a while, one of the operating supervisors of one of the foremen for the crew I was working with that day, and this is his story. He immigrated from Sicily, which is in Italy, so he spoke Sicilian Italian, which is a very specific dialect that is relatively different from regular Italian. He came here to America, where he thus learned English, because it's America and we speak a lot of English. But because of his line of work,
Sad but true.
Because of his line of work, a lot of the guys speak Spanish. So he learned Spanish. And then it turned out that a lot of people also speak Portuguese, which I haven't really heard yet. But that's pretty interesting too. That one I know much less than
Oh.
Italian, and that one's a little more similar to Spanish, at least to my untrained ear. They sound angry, excited. They do. They do. It's a very uh, emotive, I guess, and everything. But so yeah, so he knows 4 languages now because he learned Portuguese to work with the other guys. So it
Wow.
very much reminded me of you, Oscar, especially now that you're learning Italian as well, that you did Italian stuff. So it's like really nuts, really wild, and just crazy. Crazy to do that. Cause he spoke Spanish, very well with the rest of the crew. It was very interesting. I'm still definitely on that, like, I can hear it a lot more than I can speak it. Maybe I'm just self-conscious. But like when you speak Spanish to me, I do pretty well. I can follow along at least enough to like know what's going on. But to try and like have a conversation, it's like, no, I don't know. What's good though is that I can tell them not to cut roots, or that they can cut roots, which is the main part of my job when talking with them, so it works out. But they had like a whole conversation about housing and how it was cheaper in places, but that when it was cheap and then they, everybody flocks to it and they raise the rent and the whole thing and taxes.
Oh,
There's a lot. It's one of those things where you just kind of like smile and nod and you just agree because you're not trying to like start anything, that's like a vibe.
I can feel that.
That's a vibe.
That
Yeah,
is
it's so
100%
interesting
a vibe.
how that works though, Oscar, because it is very common. I know it was very common with like children of fluent speakers of a language who are raised in, say, like America, where they only speak English, but they can understand the language, whatever language it is. I know I had a
Or
Spanish
sometimes
teacher
remembering
once.
the word for something in one language but not the other.
Did you understood? Yeah, I did understand. And it was like, no, not so much that. And it was like I had a Spanish teacher once, and she was fluent. She was born and raised in America, though, I think. Or she was born she was born in the Dominican Republic, but she was mostly raised in America. But so her mother, like, only spoke Spanish, but she spoke both English and Spanish, and she was fluent in both languages. However, her children, because her husband, I believe, is Italian, her children don't speak Spanish, but even though she'll try to like have them speak Spanish with her, they'll like just respond in English. But they can understand what she's saying, but they can't speak the language, which is just a very interesting thing. Okay. This is not working for some reason. Yeah, so it's just a very interesting thing how like your brain works, that you can understand something but not speak it, and I just think that's kind of wild.
This is one of the fascinating things about your brain.
Yeah, it's so wild. Because to me it's like, and obviously like I do it, so like it's kind of weird where like I really don't have a lot of problem just sitting there and absorbing it and getting like a really good gist of it. But to try and even formulate anything to say back in Spanish is like, wow, I am really not good at this. Which is wild because you'd think that you know the words if you can understand it. But like you don't. It's so weird.
That's pretty
It's
interesting.
so wild, Oscar. Was it an accent thing? Maybe. Because that I cannot understand the guys who speak Spanish with a really with an Italian accent. I can't do it. It's like wrong. Like I can't understand that. I can barely recognize it being Spanish, but I can tell that it's Spanish. But that's about all I got.
So fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's very nuts.
I wish I spoke a second language.
I wish I was better at the second language than I am.
One day, Ori. How's that Duolingo streak going?
Oh, I lost it on the weekend.
Oh no!
Yeah, such is life. The streak is not the main thing. You know, the main thing is doing it.
I mean, it's kind of the main thing.
Oh, I don't think that the having the streak is the part of it. You know, if I just don't do it every weekend, but I pick it up again during the week, like, that's fine. At least I think so.
You can't let the streak die,
It's okay.
though.
I talked to Dylan in Spanish instead.
That's a good substitute.
He's the one doing the streak more. Apparently, he almost lost it on the day we played Pathfinder because we stayed on a little late. And
Yeah,
he doesn't
oh,
do it
man.
until night. So he almost
That
like didn't do it.
Session was all kinds of wild.
So good.
Amazing. I love that so many Mario references have just worked their way into this game, like from the beginning.
Oh,
It was
that's
just
what he
Mario
started with.
references from the get-go.
Yeah. That's just how it
Did
goes.
anything inspire the Mario references? Did he
No,
just
I
have
think
Mario
he just
on the
wanted
brain?
to do the Mario references, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. That's to my knowledge. You could always ask him.
I'd wondered about that.
Yeah, to my knowledge, he just came up with the idea and ran with it, and then, you know, it sort of permeated into the rest of it. You
It's
know,
like
I
of all
wouldn't.
things, why Mario?
Yeah, and I don't think that, like, the whole thing was fully planned to have as much Mario in it as it always, you know, as it did from the very first start of it, you know.
Yeah. That is true. Me go to sleep pasta hand sign.
Bata is fairy.
Pasta.
Interesting.
Ooh. How pretty.
The thing that you know, I will always say Italian is the easier of the, like, the main Romance languages. I don't know anything about Portuguese, but like
couldn't
between
tell you the
Spanish,
first thing.
Italian, and French, right? Like, Spanish is the easiest because it has the least, like, contractions, I guess, right? So it's like in Italian, you have like it's like IL, but then it's just like L apostrophe if like these rules. So it's like really weird. You never have that in Spanish, at least to my knowledge. Maybe Oscar will correct me and say no, in this one case they have it. But
I don't recall, but let's be honest, a high school language class does not compare to actually using the language in your everyday life.
so it's definitely like to me it's the easiest by far. They do
They
speak
speak faster
really
than most Spanish
fast.
speakers.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to
worst-
pay attention the next time I
Oh,
talk
no,
with somebody.
They speak so fast, Italian speakers. I think it's like the same vibe of like them being excitable. You know, it's just very fast. And that's what I found when the guy who I met who spoke Italian first, Italian was his first language. He not only speaks fast, but he mumbles through it a lot. There's like a whole point where he like
okay.
said this entire line and I had like there were no words. Like there were no I didn't know any words because it felt like there were no words. And the other guys, they seemed to, you know, pick it up, but that's probably like I could understand like an English speaker mumbling much more than any other language, you know, than a non-English speaker could. But it was definitely like, God, what that anybody understood that? Damn, I don't even. Whew, nuts. They like really like mumbled through it, and I was just like, what, what, what? Excuse me, what?
Like, wait, what? What now?
The other thing is my job, because there's like a lot of machinery and stuff.
Uh-huh.
They'll like whistle at each other, just because it's loud and you can hear it over a lot of like ambient noise of like machines and stuff. But I'm always like, is that for me? Are you whistling at me? Like just to like get my attention? Like whose attention are we trying to get? I can't tell.
It's like, you gotta let me know here, please.
Well, it's more just like anytime someone whistles, it's just like, do you need me? Did I do something wrong?
No, it couldn't be because you did anything wrong, Ori. Never.
Yeah. Yeah, Oscar. Well, the one thing, I've said this before, definitely on stream, but the one thing that gets me when people learn languages is when they put in, and I'm specifically like talking specifically in class, if you mess up when you're like actually speaking it, but like you learn, that's one thing. But when you're like in a class, right, and you're reading it slowly off the board, and you never say the letters correctly for the language you're speaking, like especially when they're letters that make sounds that you already make, okay? And my favorite one in Italian is GLI. Makes like a y noise with like a y. It's like a y noise. So it's not famiglia, it's familia. Just like in Spanish, it's familia, right? Like it's familia in la familia.
It's
La
just got some
familia
extra
in Italian.
letters going on. That's
but
all.
It's literally every time GLI makes a y noise. So there's actually one of the like GLI is like they or something, I can't remember, or we. It's ye, right? Ye. But it's GLI, just ye, okay? Every single time, without fail, every single time.
How many people said Glee?
Yes, so many people said Glee. And it's just like, it's not Glee. It's never Glee. It's not once been Glee. Don't say famiglia. It's familia. Familia. Familia.
Amiga. It's like, the sound exists in English. Why can't you say it?
Well, that's like
There's,
it's the CH makes the...
There's a sound in Spanish that drives you nuts, too.
Well, it's when people make the J's not say the J's.
It was J.
When they... Yeah, because J in Spanish is a... like an H noise, like a huh noise. And they'll go like jalapeno.
Jesus,
nobody does jalapeno,
Jesus.
but like, yeah, it's Jesus. Or the double L makes the Y noise.
There was so there was one thing we did in our Spanish classes, middle through high school. Some classes did this, others didn't. But they gave you a Spanish version of your name.
Yeah.
I don't remember which kid it was, but there was always one guy who consistently chose his name to be Jesus, and I'm convinced he just kept picking it because he thought it was Jesus, or that it looked like Jesus, and he thought it was funny.
Probably.
I wish I could
because
remember
of jalapeno.
Because he consistently picked that name like over and over every single year.
Well, the other one is my friends would say like tortilla, and I wanted to strangle them.
Really?
That was just like, we don't even say it wrong in English. Like if you're like you say it right.
Tortilla.
It's tortilla, no matter what.
In English, it's tortilla in Spanish.
And we have all the stupid English stuff, so it's not like you're being weird. Yeah, tortilla. Ugh, gross.
Oy.
Hate it.
2016 playing Rainbow Six. That's such a specific memory, Oscar.
There's a game that I've mentioned on stream before because I love it so much. It's called Overcooked. And in Overcooked, I think it's only Overcooked 2. I don't think it's Overcooked 1 at all. You make burritos, right? That's one of the things you can make.
I think
there's
it's 2.
Tortillas,
I don't think it's 1.
Right? So there's tortillas. And the friends I was playing with, they'd be like, pass the tortilla. Now they were doing it like immediately. Like they know how to say tortilla. Right, like
they were being little shits.
They were being little shits, but I would like refuse. I was like, we ain't doing
loving
this.
Little shits.
I hate this. I hate when you say it this way. We ain't doing this.
Like, thanks, stop. I hate it.
We're done.
I can't sometimes.
Tortilla. Tortilla.
Dylan. You know what? He earned that name. I'm curious, Oscar, why couldn't he say it? Was it just like difficult for him to pronounce, or
There's no way, unless you're pronouncing
like
all your
what's the
Y's
reasoning
weird.
here?
Like, I don't know.
Well, you could be young and okay, so here's where we get into the speech world a
Yeah,
little bit.
we're in Mars territory now, folks.
When you start learning your letters, there are some, well, not even letters, but okay. Letters are the written version of the sounds we make. The sounds we make, vowels, consonants, whatever you use in your language, are called phonemes. This is why we have the International Phonetic Alphabet. It's so we can uh, make sense of
Because
these
normal
sounds
letters are
across
stupid
languages.
and make
Normal
different
letters
sounds.
are very stupid because C and S both make the sound. They make the snake sound, but they're two different
Sometimes.
letters. I will quote my phonology, no, not phonology, phonetics undergrad professor. Circus is the worst word in the English language. Nothing about it makes sense. But going on from that, when you're learning your sounds as a kid, there's a typical stage of development in which you're going to learn some sounds sooner than others. Some of the earliest sounds to come in are like your b, p, m. Like these are all lip sounds. You're using your lips to make them, and then you start getting more of the sounds toward the back of your mouth as you grow older, and your articulators, your tongue, lips, teeth become a little more coordinated. So the reason I bring this up is because since you mentioned you guys were young, Oscar, and that your friend had trouble saying tortilla, I'm wondering if the sound was still what we would call emerging for him. Like he hadn't quite mastered it yet, but eventually, like it would come in and it would be an adult production of said sound. He was American, but came because of his dad's job. Oh, cool. He also confused.
Cebolla and caballo.
Oh boy.
I
Yeah,
love
those
the
are two
word
very different
cebolla.
things.
Though that's like one of my favorite words to say in Spanish. Cebolla. Dylan really liked he's doing the Duolingo, right? He really liked película because
Mm.
the like really deep voiced characters said it and taught it to him. So it's like
Oh,
película.
see
Película.
that's just fun.
So he really likes that word,
How
which
could
is
you not like
movie.
that?
But I like cebolla. I also like zanahoria. I like that one a lot.
What does that one mean?
Carrot.
Carrot. Okay.
I know a lot of food. A
Oh,
lot of
I
food.
believe you. That sounds right up your alley.
Yeah.
So
I know
I
a
don't
lot of
doubt.
food. That's probably my brain. Es esa una manzana? Una manzana?
Language is very fun.
Language can be very fun, yes. I definitely think it's fun when you learn languages that have like simpler rules. I like Spanish because, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's on the easier side versus like English, which I already don't know and it's my first language.
That's valid.
Oh, it's a form of it's a meme. Amenzana. Amenaza. Oh, I keep doing it wrong because my brain is dying. Amenaza.
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 Interesting.
I really want to say an apple. Really bad. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's great. I gotta try to remember that to tell Dylan that. He would love that.
That's gonna be like one of those good ones you hit him with. He's
Yeah.
gonna love it.
I love and hate having to draw all those boys interacting with each other. My brain is ripe with ideas, but the effort is great.
The effort is indeed great.
It is immense.
It is strong with this one.
Boop boop. I'm guessing here maybe. I'm happy with that headcanon Oscar. Works for me. Ooh, we've been getting a couple of French comic followers recently. I think we're up to 18 last time I checked.
That we have.
Yeah, we're up to 18
which is
now.
Really cool.
Which is pretty wild because that one was stagnant for a while. Spanish just keeps going. 372, guys. Dang, we're gonna hit 400 on the Spanish one super soon. Not so soon.
Which is awesome.
There's a Professor Layton anime?
Really? Oh,
That's
wow.
Nuts. It's for Catriel? Jesus. I can't read tonight, guys.
It's okay, Ori. We forgive you.
I also didn't know it had an anime.
I had no clue.
Amazing.
This is my first time ever hearing about that.
Vibe but men. However, every once in a while, apparently when I like to make new characters, I lean towards, like, not necessarily a woman, but, like, definitely more feminine than masculine. When I, like, you know, it just seems, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I want to branch out sometimes, but...
Only sometimes.
Yeah, only sometimes. Otherwise, definitely my desire... 60-40? Maybe like 75-25. I feel like that's a good range. I have leaned more into in recent times more of my D&D or, you know, TTRPG characters have been more feminine than masculine, versus I only played men for like the longest time. Literally until like Avisha, and then after Avisha, I've played women twice, including Avisha, and then like Corey is non-binary, cause they're like a spider, but they're like feminine non-binary. I think they'd be she/they.
Yeah. I could see them as a she, they, totally.
But definitely they, you know, like it's definitely like I wanted to go non-binary because spider.
I have to ask Pastry Puff, did you get the answers that you sought?
I mean, they like it.
That sounds promising, but that doesn't tell me if they got their answers.
But yeah, so definitely sort of an interesting vibe there.
Indeed. That's a really cute emoji, Oscar.
Oscar has a ton of adorable emojis. It looks like
Oscar just has a collection, and I'm jealous.
Oscar just follows all of these.
5th episode out of 50? There's 50 episodes? What?
Is it Poplio? That has to be Poplio, Oscar.
I think that's Poplio.
It looks like shiny Poplio.
That's so damn cute.
It wiggles so hard.
He's just a happy boy.
Interesting. Shiny Poplio is not those colors, but it has to be Poplio.
I would have loved if Poplio were those colors, not gonna lie.
I meant shiny Poplio, but yeah. No, he's just darker blue with some pink, which is sad, honestly. Okay, sometimes the shinies are incredibly
tell me why
underwhelming.
The shinies are so lame in the newer gens. Like, I was looking at some of the newer shinies, and they are the ugliest color palettes I have ever seen.
I just don't understand. I thought shinies were meant to be like a cool alternative option that's rare, but we didn't get to you know, this is like a
Oh.
cool other color palette option, but it didn't get done in the final, and now they're just lame.
It doesn't look good. They either go like, here's the same color palette but darker, or here's a combination of colors that are eye blood when you stare at them. I'm like, no, this is not the vibe. What are you doing?
Not all shinies are just that, but bigger.
Okay, there are some very cool shinies out there. Shiny Rayquaza, sign me the hell up. Love it. Looks so good. What's another shiny I like? I can't remember. Shit. I will say, okay, call me out. I got a soft spot for green Espeon. It's one of those ones that's so ridiculous it actually kind of works.
What am I thinking of?
Only you would know, Ori.
I know. Oh, shiny Siglif works. I do prefer the main colors.
Oh, that
but
one
shiny
does look good.
Siglif does look really good. Like the main colors, boy, versus the shiny. Like this is my favorite by far, but the shiny works.
I like the green on the shiny. You
Yeah.
wouldn't think it worked, but the lime green really does.
No, it does work well.
That's quite lovely.
Shiny Scrafty. I don't know that one off the top of my head.
Shiny Rosalia. Oh, I think I remember that one.
Oh, shiny Scrafty's
I think
not
that's one of
bad.
my favorites.
He's green.
Shiny Luxray is pretty cool. It's just the right balance of switching another color out and it just really working. What about... I can't remember what Shiny Absol looks like.
Yeah, it seems
Shiny
that way,
Absol's
Pastry
all
Puff.
right. It doesn't blow me away or anything. I actually kind of prefer regular Absol. What other Pokemon
Shiny
do I really
Rosalia
like?
is pretty. You get the purple and the black roses. It is very nice. Shiny Haxorus. Shiny. Haxorus. Okay, I'm really sorry, Wisdom. I remembered that you were someone of another name, but I've forgotten.
Oh! Yes, you changed your name recently.
You changed your name. And I'm trying to remember.
Oh crud.
Yeah, Shiny
I
Haxorus
remember,
is really,
I
really
swear.
edgy.
Oh, Haxorus is a sick Pokemon.
Oh, Haxorus is good. I also like the one Gibble turns into.
Oh,
Garchomp.
Garchomp.
S.J. Mackinnon, that's what it was.
S.J. Mackinnon.
S.J.
Okay.
Mackinnon. Okay, it'll take me a bit, but I'll get there.
I don't remember the J.S. Mackinnon
Mackinnon
days.
is the defining feature. All right, Wisdom. I'll remember. We'll get there.
All in due time.
Shiny Lucario is very cool.
Shiny Lucario's nice. Like, don't get me wrong, they've definitely had some good ones over the years. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like my
Shiny
feed
Garchomp
just
is incredibly
shoves so many
underwhelming.
recent ugly ones in my face that I'm like, ew, why?
I also just like the ones that are just like slightly a different color. I feel like what must happen, okay? And this is just a thought.
Okay.
I feel
Hit
like
us with your theory.
you think about Shiny Garchomp. Yeah, really? No, Mason. I mean, yeah, it's so sad. I think that what they must do is they just have a flat color and then some sort of filter that they put over the Pokemon. And
It's
that
gotta
makes the
be.
shiny version.
Because
Because
some of them are
that would
just
that
so
because otherwise
lame.
because otherwise why would you allow Shiny Garchomp to exist? Why would you allow such a nothing burger to exist?
Yeah.
Hello, tape player. We're ranting about
It's
Pokemon
because
shinies.
Garchomp was too good in his original gen, so they had to take him down a peg.
It's just so sad.
They
I
had to
think
take
they
him down
do
a
the
peg. They
same
had no
thing.
choice.
Yeah,
Look
same
how
with
they
like
massacred
Snorlax
my
and
boy.
Munchlax. They're just lame. They're just bluer. It's so
It just
disappointing.
makes me sad.
It's very sad.
Like, just give us some good-looking Pokemon, please.
Oh yeah. We got on this. I don't even know why we got to here, if I'm being
I
honest.
kind of forget. I think I brought it up for some reason, but I don't remember why.
Yeah, it was something to. Nope. Oh, we were talking about. Oscar put a Poplio emoji in the chat that was like beige, and I thought that
Ah,
it was
that's right.
shiny Poplio, and then it wasn't, and shiny Poplio is mid and very disappointing. And
That's
that's
right.
how we
That's how
got
we got
here.
this.
I'll remember the thread, eventually. Yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah,
just chilling,
it's all
tape
coming
player.
together.
Sad
Yep,
Poplio,
today's
yeah.
just a nice chill night.
Nice chill night.
Ori and
And
I did a lot
wisdom.
today, so
How
we're
you guys
tired.
been? I also have
Yes,
to like get comic stuff done, and apparently this is the only way I can force myself to do it right now. So, is it slow goings because it's stream? Yes, but it's
yes.
still
But
goings
is she
compared to the
getting it done?
nothing.
Yes.
Compared to the lot of bupkis that I've been doing. Guys, can you believe that it's going to be a year? Because I really can't. It's nuts.
I also can't.
Every time.
It's actually
I told my
insane.
mom, and she was like, first of all, really, really cool. But second of all, she was like, can you believe it? I'm like, no, I can't. It really don't feel like it's been that long.
It really doesn't.
But then I look and I see how far we've gotten in the story and being like, oh no, this is the stuff that was just barely scripted
It's like,
when we
no,
launched. It was like, okay, we have gone far.
we accomplished quite a bit. We got Hotz into the island. We got a little bit of a backstory established for him.
It
We met
does.
the crew. We hung out with the crew. We're still in the process of hanging out with the crew.
Yeah, but it makes me feel good about the pace that we've gone. If I'm, I feel like we've gotten a good amount
I feel
done.
like I like the pacing.
Yeah.
Like, this is the kind of pacing I would want to read, in all honesty.
Yeah, it feels like we definitely
And
accomplished
that's
stuff in that year.
exactly what we set out to do. Make a comic that we would want to read.
Literally. 100. And the dub, guys. This week, that means tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, the dub comes out, and you get to hear everyone's voices for the first time. Everyone will have canonical voices in the next dub.
Yes.
You get to hear Aster. You get to hear Ferrix. You get to hear Sidit. Yay!
Woo! You can guess who they're played by. It's really not much of a guess.
You really can tell. It's
can
not that
tell.
hard.
It's not hard at all.
We only have
Not
a 0 budget for this, okay? And I only know
Exactly.
like 5 people, and 2 of them are Mars and Dylan.
exactly. So, yeah, not a whole lot to choose from.
No. However, I still think it came out really good.
I think it
all
came
really
out
great.
phenomenal. It makes
Very
me so
exciting.
happy.
Tomorrow at noon, that'll drop. Very
Yes.
sweet.
It's gonna
Very
be so
cool.
good, you guys.
But yeah, all that cool stuff. Well then, Oscar, if you say so.
Oscar does say so.
Oscar does say so. I was gonna say something else, though. But the brain has shut off again. As it is so wont to do.
I had a weird GPS thing happen this morning.
Oh, yeah?
So, I'm driving on the way to the place I gotta go to, and I decide, okay, since
I
this
have
is a new
not.
place, first time going there, like, I need to show up on time. I gotta be professional. I'll have my GPS take me the preferred route. So, I start following the route I took when I went to go for an interview. Now, for some reason, it starts taking me like some weird back way that actually had more traffic
Oh.
than it would have another way. So by the time I get to like a turning point, basically I'm leaving a side road for a more busy one, it literally spits me out a side road that would have taken me like literally in the same direction as my campus. So I'm like, why the hell didn't I just take my normal route? I literally could have made it here in less time
Oh
and
no,
had less
pastry puff.
traffic.
Do you have other
What did the
painkillers you could
GPS
take?
do?
That's the worst.
Ooh,
It does make sense now, though, why you can't go to school or really do anything.
yes. But hey, just in time for Ace Attorney. Yes, Ace Attorney.
Yeah, really. Again, the
And I hear
universe
Ace
said
Attorney is the best medicine.
Ace Attorney was most important. Mm. Oh no! I'm so sorry, pastry puff.
Oh,
That really,
they didn't
really
give
sucks.
you any painkillers?
That sounds really oof. I can't imagine.
Sounds really rough.
When I had my wisdom teeth out, they were like, here are painkillers for many days. Well, that's good. At least you're not stuck.
That's a plus.
Can you do wheelies? I don't know. I think this is day 1. They gotta work up. Gotta work up to that. You definitely should check pastry puff because that'll definitely help.
For sure.
Don't suffer if you don't have to.
Why put yourself through the pain if you don't need to?
Hair. How does hair work?
That is the $1,000,000 question.
But oh god. I clicked a button that I didn't mean to
Ori
click.
will figure out how hair works. Watch her character arc, everybody.
Ah, you're so close. You're so close to finishing pastry puff. It's a good distraction, I guess. What was I gonna say?
I'd say so.
Yeah, I gotta find a good course on how to learn 3D modeling, 3D sculpting, digital sculpting. Because I want to learn. I want to make the Outcast boys in 3D.
It'll happen.
It's my
All in
2024
due time.
resolution. This is not a joke.
Yeah, does anyone have some resolutions they're working on?
I think Mason's was not die, and so they're on top of it already.
That's a good resolution.
Yeah, a resolution, Oscar, is like it's a tradition that people do. At the new year, you make like a goal for yourself to complete within the new year. The very common one is like lose weight, and then a lot
or
of
go
people
to the
buy
gym
gym
more
memberships,
often.
and then stop.
Journal every day, read more books, something to that extent.
Not that kind of resolution, Oscar, though that is the same word.
It comes from the idea like, I resolve to do this. I make a promise to do this.
Yeah, it's really only used in this context. I don't think I've ever used that word outside of New Year's resolution.
I was resolute in the matter.
But that's a different.
But it's a different word, yeah.
That's different. But it's to be steadfast, right? To stand strong with your convictions. I started using a lot of words that are just also big words. Yeah. So yeah, in this case, we really only use it for New Year's resolutions. But like my resolution last year was to draw one fan art every month, and I did it, except December. But that's fine. I got close enough.
Ori was very good about it. She did a great job.
That's what it was, Mason. Nobody keeps their resolutions. So I think, yeah, what wasn't it to be evil then, Mason? I think that was what it was. But
That might have been
I learned, I don't remember what year of schooling this was, or if it was in like a college class course or something. It must have been in grade school because we were never really around in school during college during like this time of year. Well, you know, New Year's time of year. But it was something about how the reason that so many people fail there in keeping to their New Year's resolution. Your favorite word is deadline? It is. It is dangerous. Deadlines can help or hurt people. It depends. But, it was that people make them too broad or wishy-washy, right? Saying, I'll lose weight is not, as they say, actionable. It does not give you the ability to actually take the steps to do it. A better way to do it would be saying, my resolution is to go to the gym once a week. That's actionable, right? You can hold yourself to something like that. Or even as small as go to the gym once every other week, right? Something that is feasible to add to your life in a specific way. That's my resolution was of I don't think that's where I got it from, Pastry Puff. I have seen that, but I'm very certain that I learned. How old is Thomas Sanders? I'm very certain I learned it
been
much
around
younger.
A while.
I think he's slightly older than us. I don't think he's crazy.
I'm pretty sure he's 28.
No, he's older than I expected. He's about 10 years older than us. He's 34, which is kind of nuts when I think about that.
Wait, he's in his 30s?
Yeah. That I was
God.
sure about, but I thought he was like only like 31 or something. But that's still wild. That's still nuts. He looks very good. But point being is that no, I definitely learned it like in school, because I remember having like a class period time where it was like, write your New Year's resolution and make sure. It must have been gym class, honestly, because that feels like a gym class kind of thing to do, doesn't it?
It does.
It talks about
especially
goals
for the new year.
And but I have watched and heard of Sanders Sides. I do enjoy Sanders Sides.
Love Standard Sides.
And Thomas Sanders in general. But I remember when he was on Vine. Oh. Well, point being, so that it has to be actionable. It was definitely a gym class thing. I'm like remembering writing it on a piece of paper on the floor.
Oh yeah, no,
And,
we definitely did that.
So that's why I was able to stick to the resolution that I made last year, which was to do one fan art every month, because that's very specific, that's very actionable. So far, I haven't made my goal this year into something actionable of learning how to 3D model. And honestly, I've kind of accepted that January is just kind of like a get it together month because of the move and everything. Move and job.
It's just so like,
and it was just
you
a lot of
moved,
stuff.
You got a new job, you had to set everything
Yeah.
up.
And to get into it again.
Totally understandable.
You're gonna go to Starbucks and say mocha macchiato?
Ooh.
I think those have H's in them, Oscar, because it's Italian. I'm gonna check myself before I wreck myself.
Oh, I like that. I'm gonna have to use that.
Yeah, they do have H's in them. So it's like that because in Italian, and this is something I learned, in Italian, technically mocha doesn't work, which is weird, but it's okay, Oscar. So in Italian, C-I or C-U, no, I'm sorry, C-E, C-I or C-E make the ch noise, the C-H noise. So that's chi or che, like in cello or ciao, right? It's C-I. However, CHI or CHE makes the k noise. So it's ki or ke. So that's why it is macchiato. No, I don't know that one at all. Xiaoming Xian Ha. I've probably cursed someone out now because I didn't do the right inflections.
I think it's Xianha.
Xianha. You could be a tryhard too. I took Italian for 2 semesters, Oscar, so I know the technicalities of the language. That doesn't make me good at it. Dylan's definitely better at it than I am. Dylan took Italian for technically less long than Mars and I took Spanish, but still a good number of years.
We have an approximate amount of knowledge between the three of us.
Exactly. You saw John Cena's video? What was I going to say? I was saying words.
I don't know.
I have forgotten.
Sadly, I'm not in your mind.
Oh, I was talking about being actionable. Oh, Mars, maybe you can help me. Chat, maybe you can help me. How should I be actionable? How should I make my goal of learning how to 3D model in 2024 an actionable goal instead of just fancy frilly words of I'm gonna do it?
Okay, so you want to learn how to 3D model.
Yeah, 3D sculpt.
Okay.
Mars took Spanish? She never said hola before? Mars, say hola.
Hola.
There you go. It's okay. She's kind of rusty because she took Japanese for like 4 years after that, so...
Yeah.
She kind of messed it up.
I have way too much knowledge in my head.
And then she has to learn more about English because she did like weird English speaking, you know, major.
I had to learn a ton about English, basically had to relearn English.
Yeah, so she's got
and,
like...
you know, learn how to learn English, which was even weirder.
And then how to teach English, so, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mars's Spanish is very rusty.
It's incredibly rusty.
But yeah, how should I be actionable?
I do remember liking comida, though. That was always fun to say.
Comida? I like,
comida.
Dylan, something came up in his, like, Duolingo, which I'm surprised it came up so early in his Duolingo, but it was, like, one of the future tenses. No, one of the past tenses.
Oh.
Where it's one of the past tenses where it was, like, I used to do this thing, right? So it's, like, and you add aba for the AR verbs.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Or abo, right? Or avaste, right? With the AB and then an ending, right?
Okay,
and so
it's coming back
he
to
learned hablaba. He likes hablaba. I like
Hablaba.
trabajaba.
Oh, trabajaba.
Or trabajábamos. Trabajábamos. I like that one. I don't know if that's a good emoji or a bad emoji, Oscar. I'm so concerned. I've royally insulted his mother. That's what's obviously happened.
I think one of my favorite things about learning language, particularly when I was taking Japanese, is I was in my first semester of college, and I started watching more anime around that time. So it was really, really funny when we learned a verb conjugation in class, and then I could hear that conjugated like during an opening or during the show. And it's like, oh wow, I recognize that.
That's always fun.
It just made me so happy because I was like, oh look, the fruits of my labor.
Hello, Nicole. Lunch break. What do you have for lunch today?
Happy lunch break.
We're talking about New Year's resolutions and stuff.
I had some pea soup today for lunch. It was very good.
That's how you would... The second one is tough, Oscar, yeah. No T at the end. T-O-U-G-H. That's how you'd say tough. Like,
yeah,
difficult.
Tough.
I mean,
that's
really,
why
that's
the English language sucks, because we have an F that makes the sound, but then we also have GH, which makes the sound. And PH. Yeah, English is the worst. And teaching it to little kids, oh boy, this is why you gotta know your stuff. is
But
why you gotta know your stuff.
a mini burrito. Ooh.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
What did I for lunch? I had egg salad and on radishes, and
Yum.
also olives and prosciutto and feta on a piece of lettuce. It was very good.
Very nice.
Our burrito. You have to share with the class, apparently, Nicole.
Whoa.
But I think my goal should be this month is to find a course for
Mmm.
3D
That would be a
sculpting.
great place to start.
I think that's the place to start for this month. And then starting in February, it would be like do at least one of the, I'd have to see how many, like how long each part of the course is and stuff like that, but splitting that up for the rest of the year through the months and splitting it up. I think that would be the goal. I would be using Blender, yeah. The other one I thought about was ZBrush, but I would be using Blender. Have you done any 3D rendering, Nicole?
Oh, yeah, maybe you guys could collab on this.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm just curious.
Well, like in getting experience.
Yeah. Dylan wants to learn with me, so he doesn't know of a course. I need to find a course. But it's one that's like, it's very like, maybe if I habla, if I used to speak. What was I saying? Brain dying, brain shutting off.
You were thinking of signing up for a course.
Yes, signing up for a course. Yeah, I thought about ZBrush, but I think Dylan already knows Blender, and since I don't really know either, I think Blender's just easier. It has a lot more tools and stuff to it too. But it was that like a lot of places like to do like there's a lot of requests for like 3D artists versus like 2D artists, which is sad in the sense of like I like 2D art more if I'm being honest. Like 3D art is cool, but a lot of the art that I follow that's 3D art
to break into.
Well, a lot of 3D artists that I follow are 3D artists that are specifically making their 3D art look like 2D. Which is honestly epic as fuck. Like they do really good work. But it's just funny that like that is the goal that I want. Because I want my like 3D model of the characters to be as looking like the characters as possible.
Oh, of course. That's just the beauty of it.
Yeah, so that means it has to be reminiscent of the 2D. I see, Nicole. Yeah, I
good in 3D.
I made a brief render of technically this campsite in Blender once upon a time. With just like pre-made asset stuff, literally just moving it around this space, but never really like knew anything. I do know that one of my great comic art inspirations, the Starfish Face, who creates Cast Off, the comic Cast Off, does know a fair amount of 3D modeling and like uses it to help make the backgrounds. And if I'm being completely honest, I need that.
I feel like that would be a godsend for you.
Yeah, I need that because city happening eventually.
City is happening eventually.
Boat. So like, ooh, yeah, Ori needs assistance with life.
City and boat are the trigger words for Ori.
It's more just like it's just daunting.
It's okay. We still have a Ferrex hangout to get through. It's okay.
It's almost the Ferrex hangout has been drawn, Mars. I don't know where you are here. You're coloring it. I've got the Ferrex hangouts down. Yes. I mean, you had a brief look at a city in Sinet's flashback sort of bits in entry 4.
It showed up incredibly briefly.
And really blurry because, you know, I don't like doing it. You better be, Oscar. You better be right back. Immediately back. Why aren't you back yet?
Don't abandon us.
A week from today, Nicole, a week from literally right now, is the anniversary of the comic. There will be one more comic episode uploaded on the Monday before that happens, and then we will have this comic anniversary stream. And it'll be grand, and it'll be great, and we will have
it'll be
lots of fun stuff.
beautiful.
We have. Do we want to say what we have planned, Mars?
Yeah, I think we could say what we have planned.
What we have planned is, of course, Outcast trivia, just like we did on launch day 1 year ago. From next week, we will be doing Outcast trivia that will have trivia based on every single
throwback to everything.
Maybe not every single, but any of the episodes that we have uploaded, including the one that we will upload in a week from yesterday, on Monday the 29th. It'll have trivia from that. We will also be doing one of your guys' ideas. It's Nicole's idea. Suggested in
we really like the
thing.
sound of the idea.
It was very cool, which is where I write a little short comic that Mars has to illustrate. Basically, role swap. I write, Mars draws, I flat. Mars renders, and you guys will help get to decide what it's about. I did have an idea today, though, so I will get to see.
Oh, nice.
This time. So I was.
I think I know what you want to draw.
I drawn.
Oh, I think I know what you want me to draw then.
I'd love you to DM me to see, because I don't think you know. But
I mean, you said you had some ideas today. I can only assume some of these ideas came while you were sketching. That's the word.
No, they have none. They are actually the other idea. I specifically didn't sketch this idea because I didn't want to be influenced for you to have any expectations. Yes.
Okay. Oh, such a shame.
Basically, I also didn't want it to be like new designs forced upon you because they're like in snow outfits. So
I would not have drawn them in snow outfits.
That's what I'm saying. So I wanted it to be so for Mars it'll be, I don't know what the exact word would be, tangentially canonical, in the sense of that it's something that could happen in the story, but whether or not it's actually canon is not necessarily necessary to know or important.
Tentative canon.
Yeah. It'll be a little scene that is meaningless to the story itself, but could be just a fun little bloop to have with the characters, because that'll be fun. But we want to make it short so Mars doesn't have to do a ton of stuff, and we will be doing that on stream after the trivia while chatting with you guys, and we will also be taking questions for a character Q&A, which I believe was also suggested by Nicole.
Yes.
And so
there were
that'll
just
be
so
fun.
many good ideas.
Oh, the other ideas are all like Ace Attorney related. A lot of them were Ace Attorney related, which is very funny. But I obviously our audience is very Ace Attorney themed. Maybe we'll get Phoenix in the Outcast universe one day, or Caller
One
Phoenix.
day.
Who knows?
That will take a lot of brain power.
You are the brain, Nicole. We are just Pinky, and you are the brain. But yeah, and that'll be for like a future thing. The Q&A answers won't happen on stream, but we'll be taking questions for them at that time, and it'll probably be open until we actually like have an idea of when we're gonna post it. I mean, we have an idea, but that'll be in the future, because one, then Mars can think of responses, and two, I can do the little doodles and stuff. But yeah, very fun stuff. That's all we have planned currently. And yeah. Also, there will be, of course, the Outcast poster merch will be open for purchase on that day, a week from today, probably right as stream comes out. And if you make it to stream, there will be a discount code that you can get from stream only for that merch. And
Yes,
a
so
certain
you can
amount of
get
the first
lovely
ones.
posters.
I don't know how many first purchase ones do you think Mars should be signed?
I feel. How do we feel about the first? I'm trying to think how many people usually show
Thinking
up.
like 5. First
I was
5.
thinking 5, 7.
I'm thinking 5. First 5
Okay.
posters will be signed by Mars and I. That'll be the thing, and we'll of course announce this again.
Yes.
Once it is
We'll
all
announce
sort of
everything closer to the date.
Well, yeah, the weekly schedule will come out. It'll have
gotta
more
build up.
information and stuff, but all cool stuff. All good stuff. Everything coming along. And it'll be a really cool anniversary, I hope. I have to make promo stuff for it. for the comic episode that comes out the day before, I want to promote it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. We gotta
Very
hype it
fun.
up.
We'll hype it up a lot everywhere.
A Ferrex Hangout episode comes out.
Your heart is shattered, Oscar? Why is your heart shattered?
Anniversary. Oh no!
What happened?
What happened? Hopefully not too shattered.
Someone called your emotes frogs.
Frogs!
No, they
Ooh.
did not.
How dare!
Oh, how dare they? They really. Oh,
My
wow.
goodness.
They're not frogs at all. Oh, I can't
Whoever this
believe them.
person is
Cut them out of your life. Not worth
uncultured.
it. Forget them.
What the heck?
Forget them. They have no idea. They don't know what they're talking about. They're lame. It's okay, Nicole.
could they
You might
not
still be able to. I don't know how many people are going to purchase of them. You might still be able to.
To be honest, I don't know how much Ori and I would stick to the actual 7 or 5 rule, but we'll see.
The bigger thing will be that the whole purchasing of the poster will be limited time only. That'll be like a month.
Yeah. Yep.
A vendetta.
Very exclusive offer.
This scene was so fun to draw because it's like it's Ferrex trying to sneak more dessert, basically.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, Nicole, we'll leave one for you. I promise you'll get one. We'll make it special. I also don't know what the little extras will be. Mars and I will have to discuss that.
We'll figure out something fun.
We'll figure out something.
We've
'Cause the extras
talked
are
about
important.
posters.
Well, there's gonna.
What's the word?
I think there's gonna be
Postcards. That's the word.
Oh, postcards. That'll be another thing. But I think for now, it'll be the poster in 2 sizes, but there will be a second poster you guys can get as well if you're really into that. Because honestly, I just love how the art turned out. It'll be.
But you gotta let us know if you're into that. That's the thing.
I mean,
so
it'll be.
I think we'll put it up as an option.
Oh yeah, it'll be an
and
option.
if people want it, then we'll do.
Can I say the option, or should I keep it secret?
You can say the option. I don't think we got 4 people here. It'll come around again. Plus the people on YouTube.
Are
I'm on
going to
Twitch.
be the cover of the comic, so the Outcast cover, or the Morose Turnabout comic cover, because I just really like how it looks and it's really pretty.
It came out really good.
Yeah.
Like, guys, Ori turned that comic into a little book for my birthday, and it as a cover is just, oh, chef's kiss. Mwah.
So very, very cool as well. But they will be printed on demand, so, you know, honestly, we'll probably sign the majority of them. We can make it a bigger one. How about Mars? The first week of orders we'll sign.
Okay.
We'll do that.
That sounds good.
Then we'll make it nice and easy.
Oh crap, now I really gotta work on my signature.
I don't know if it's gonna be that much. You remember that on this? Yeah, it was, so the cover was on Instagram. I believe I also posted the cover in the Discord. It is part of the first part of the Ace Attorney AU Outcast comic, which is really cool and really fun, which you can get on the Ko-fi.
You can get it on the Ko-fi.
Yes,
I
you can
believe
either...
it's Cook tier?
It's Cook tier or a one-time purchase of, I think, $2, where you have it, and you can just read it, and you don't have to even monthly subscribe or anything. You are not a frog, Oscar.
You are absolutely not a frog. Keep telling everybody that. Scream it from the rooftops.
You're a proud octopus.
Yes. The Familia Octopus.
But yeah, so this scene is Ferrex trying to sneak more snacks, more dessert, basically.
I love it.
But it's
such a Ferrex thing to do.
It's Milano and Sinnit like helping him get extra dessert around like Big Brother Aster though.
Meanwhile, Aster just like, God damn it, they need something nutritious.
He's the Senshi.
Has anyone been watching Dungeon Meshi?
I do. Yeah, please watch Dungeon Meshi. The comic will eventually. So basically, Pastry Puff. The idea that I have is that the comic, any of the like special comics, will probably come out eventually for free to the public when more gets put on the Ko-fi. Does that make sense? So like Mars has written like at least 3 more scenes.
I have
from the Ace Attorney comic. So I do want to get to that.
I got hit by the inspiration stick.
I mean, it was
that
good.
Was the problem.
You know, it was good inspiration stick. So I do want to get to that. So when I get to that, then yes, as more comes out like that, it'll be released more for everybody else. Same with the Bandai comic.
You Oscar! Yay!
Yay! Oh, it's so good.
They did the characters so much justice.
Oh, it's been
so
amazing.
Happy.
This whole time. I'm so happy with it. They've done it great. I just so good.
I connect a lot more to Laios in animation than I did in the manga. Like, I don't know. I think it just helps having those extra noises from him that just like kind of human, like the little scream, the little the anime sounds. It's like, I don't know, it just makes the character feel more human to me. I can't explain it.
Well, I always loved Laios, so now he's just even better. I love Laios. He's my boy. They've done him so well. We're watching the English dub because honestly, the voice actor cast lineup is just too good to not.
They
watch
had
the English dub.
Stacked cast.
It's been great.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
And ProZD, Senshi, it's top tier shit. Laos' voice actor is great. I'm sad he hasn't been in a lot more like anime stuff. He's been in like video game stuff.
I think he'll get more projects.
Oh,
after
he's got
this.
it. He's got it. I would watch
going the way he's doing. Like honestly, this might turn into a Billy Komet's Johnny Young Bosch scenario for me, where I'll just watch anything they're in.
Literally though, he's been so good. Yeah, ProZD is top
Marcel.
Tier. Marcel, yeah. Yeah, Marcel, and then Laos, Chilchuk, and Senshi, and Fallon's the sister who got eaten.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. It happens in like the first 5
literally
minutes
happens
of
in the first
1.
Not even 5 minutes. It's like 2 seconds.
It is the opener of the show.
It happens in the first 2 seconds in the anime, and it happens in the first 5 panels of the manga. It's not a spoiler. It is the premise.
But the most recent episode last week was so good and done
Oh,
so
Living
well.
Armor was
It was
great.
just done fantastically. I'm so happy.
They killed it.
10 out of 10 without a reaction. Yeah,
I'm
they've been
so
doing
glad
great.
to hear the Durban VAs are doing it justice. That's beautiful.
It has been great. I'm gonna watch it again in Japanese. I mean, yeah, vibe.
And then watch it again in English.
Watch it in everything. Can't get enough Dungeon Meshi.
I also got to catch up on Has Been Hotel, which, holy crap, they threw everything into this show. It is wild how much information we are getting. It's definitely a little on the fast-paced side, but I still think the highs beat out any of the lows.
I do find a lot of like Netflix originals end up that way, kind of fast.
I think it's because everyone's been getting canceled and no one knows if they're going to get renewed for another
Yeah, it probably
season.
has something to do with it, sadly.
Like, honestly, streaming services
I
have
would
really
love that,
created a
Nicole.
toxic
If
creative
I had the
culture.
money, man, I would totally do
Oh,
that.
that would have been amazing.
Yeah, it did, Mason. Literally just like this month.
Yeah. Earlier this month, in fact. It's so good. It's so damn good.
But that would be epic, Nicole. If we ever got an Outcast anime, that'd be nuts.
That'd be amazing.
Literally crazy.
They definitely have to consult us.
Oh, you misunderstand. If we're getting an Outcast anime, we're like directing it. Like I don't really care. I would have like an advisor.
They have no choice. They have to listen
seriously.
to us.
I would have like an advisor that like knew animation better than I did, right? To like offer suggestions and stuff. But like, you ain't doing it without my say so.
Oh yeah. And if they want to bring in like a writing team who knows how to do it for TV, it's like, okay, fine, we could do that, but you still gotta consult me.
Yeah, no. It very much has to be like we'd be in it, if not literally directly. Yeah. Like, I would never animate it just because one, I am not an animator, and two, I mentioned earlier that just animating is so much work, and I don't have the constitution for animating. That's the best way I can put it. I just don't have the constitution to be an animator.
I think that's valid.
And yeah, I only got like so much in me at any given time.
Oscar, when on earth did I spoil you?
I don't know.
Because if you're talking about Dungeon Meshi, Ori did it too. It wasn't just me.
And there was no spoilers.
And you watched Dungeon Meshi.
I wish they came out on Wednesdays and not Thursdays. All of the stuff comes out on Thursdays.
I know, we got
I want to watch
Meshi.
Cherry Magic.
We got Cherry Magic.
Oh, are you good for this weekend? I'm good for this Saturday.
I'm good for this weekend, yeah.
Okay, good.
I was not expecting you to like Cherry Magic as much as you did.
When
did I spoil Has Been Hotel?
That I don't know. She barely said anything about it.
I said the pacing was fast, but the highs are better than the lows. That's not a spoiler. You guys gotta check your definition of spoiler, man. That's not a spoiler.
You're taking the Dylan definition of spoiler.
That's
Any
advice.
information on the show is a spoiler.
That's advice. It's not a spoiler, damn it.
What was I saying? She just wants the beef. You don't have any dichotomy to stab. Or Jamie to stab.
Yeah. We need a new target.
Not us. But, what was I saying?
I don't know. What were you saying?
I'm talking about animation, all this other stuff. Nope. Yeah, of course, Oscar. Sure. Definitely not.
Oh, never,
No, my
never.
brain just flatlined.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Nope, I don't know what's happening anymore.
You don't want your brain to flatline.
It's
That's so
it's
sad.
down to fine arting and breathing.
Okay, but valid though.
This is not fine art though, but fine art is a very weird specific thing, which I will never do because pain. Anyone who animates, like, you gotta be a very specific person to animate. And I'm not even talking about, like, the grueling things that, like, studios put their people through. Like, that's bad no matter what. But just, like, the amount of time you have to spend on, like, one thing. I don't think my brain, like, I need to change. I need to do different things. Like, I can't animate a single scene over the course of, like, a week. Like, that was, like, 8 hours a day, 40 hours, like, 1 second of animation. Like, pain. You know, I just, oof. Couldn't do it. And that's why, even though I picture Outcast in animation, it would never be done by me. Because, hoo boy. It's a lot.
That would be quite a lot of work.
I certainly admire specifically people like Betsy Lee, who does the vast majority of the animating herself.
My gosh. Talk about talent.
Talk about dedication, though, like, Jesus. I'm so happy you do, Nicole, and I really enjoy them too. But that's like, I talked about it earlier. The amount I get, like, if I'm really invested in something, like a good sort of like 4 to 6 hours where I can just go and we're good. But if there's no, like, movement in it, right? If it doesn't feel like I'm completing something, that's it, okay? If it doesn't feel like I've gotten anywhere, and I feel like that's the problem with a lot of, like, big scale animation, like really nice animation, is that it's like you're stuck on, like, the same thing just over and over and over again. Sketches again, lines, colors, just again and again and again, with tons and tons and tons of panels. I'll also say that I don't animate nearly as efficiently as I could. Maybe that's something else I should try to do this year, take some sort of 2D animation course, just to be more streamlined with it. Because I will say that the Milano reel that I did with the hair,
So good.
that
Probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it's literally one of my favorites as well. It's, like, really pretty. I really enjoy it. A slime OC with their favorite food in the table. We would just be a pink and a purple slime. I don't know.
Would we be slimes with glasses?
Oh, we'd have to.
I mean, that could be something.
We have 3 key points of, if you ever want to draw us in any form, okay? There are just 3 key points you have to hit. It's
Here
the
are
hair.
Mascar Damask. No, not Mascar Damask. Shit, who was the guy?
Our Maximilian Galactica.
Maximilian Galactica trademarks.
Yeah, it's the hair. Okay, specifically the whole
important.
style with the color, right? Like that, you stick that on anything, it's automatically getting there. The glasses, and as you can see, Mars and I have different glasses, so you have to keep the glasses correctly. And then the clothes have to be either for Mars purple or for me this, like, green. That's like literally it. You're done. You've done it.
These are crucial details.
That's how I make thumbnails. That's how I make anything. And that's it. That's my secret cap. I was going somewhere. Yeah, so maybe I'll also try to look into, like, an animation course. Has anyone done Skillshare? I know a lot of people, like, tout Skillshare, but I also, can you buy just, like, one course?
Tout it and swear by it.
But can you buy, like, one course is the question? I'm not yandere.
Ori is about as far from a yandere as you could imagine. Ori is nowhere near that.
Dylan and I like looked up all the like deades that you could be to try and figure out
Mhm.
which one we each were, and it's like there's
Did you find anything?
they're like really there's only one and they're like very happy, and it's like both of us fit into that category because there's very little like there wasn't like a nerd one. It was too much like shy. It was like shy.
So
Alright.
my glasses are completely different IRL, Nicole. I actually have a little bit wider of a frame. It's kind of a bigger frame, and they're actually brown with pink candy stripes on the inside of the arms. So brown and professional, tortoiseshell on the outside, but party on the inside. Just how I like it.
So, my glasses are not half glasses like that in real life. That was more like a stylistic choice. But mine are definitely much more rectangular, just like they are in the Avatar. Unlike Mars's, how they have the sort of like rounded look in real life and in the Avatar. My glasses, since the first. So, this is actually really funny. Obviously, I've been drawing myself for a while from before any of this happened. So this is based off like the
Good night,
original
Mason.
sort of.
Thanks
Good night,
for
Mason.
joining us.
Thanks for hanging out. Have a lovely day at school tomorrow. And
Yes, happy Wednesday.
so it was just sort of when I first got glasses, they were thinner, I guess. Mine have gotten wider in the past couple years, but they're still rectangular. But they're based off like the original glasses design I ever gave myself when I drew myself, just because I liked it and I liked how I look, and I like kind of having that slight like librarian vibe, you know. I don't know. It's like I'm a magic librarian, and I'll like put
It
my
was
hair up in a
a
clip,
very good vibe.
and Dylan
Let's
will
be
be
honest.
like, "Oh, the hot librarian," and it's like, "All right, you know, I'm here for it. Works for me." So
It's like no
I
complaints.
guess the answer is loosely based off of our individual glasses. They are specifically different based on the glasses that each of us have, but they are not identical. Because I looked at a picture of Mars when drawing Mars's avatar to be like, oh yes, here are the glasses.
Yes, the glasses. That must be.
It's funny though, Dylan has glasses IRL, but his avatar doesn't.
Yeah, that's probably the funniest thing.
I don't know why. I think I asked him and he said he didn't want them, or I just didn't add them because he already had so much going on with the rest of his design. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was an intentional choice. It wasn't like forgotten, but yeah. Technically, we are all bespectacled peoples. Doug is not,
That
though.
we are.
Doug doesn't wear glasses. Yet his avatar has the sunglasses on.
Well, that's more based off of how he looked for one of our in-person D&D campaigns, which was pretty damn funny.
Yeah. It's literally like his profile picture on some stuff. I do. So I always go back and forth about this, Nicole, because like part of me is like, yeah, dyed hair, pretty epic, really cool.
Okay? I want it. I am so scared of screwing up my roots for life.
Well, I would so if I was to do it, I'm getting it professionally done. That's one. Okay, like I ain't trying to do this shit myself. I'm having it. Hello, Enthuse. And so yeah, there's part of it that is a little scared, but I'm less scared being that it would be like professionally done. That, you know, my mom has gotten her hair dyed and everything. With we know someone who's a hairdresser that has been like my father's childhood friend, basically. So, you know, we've been going to them for a while. So very, very trustworthy about the whole thing. However, my biggest concern about dyeing my hair, and this is going to sound really funny, is I love wearing colorful things. I don't wear all white or all black. I always wear lots of color. Now, it's usually pastel colors, but it's lots of colors. And I don't want to have to worry about my hair going with the rest of my outfit, because I've
Ori
taken
can't
like
risk
a
clashing.
specific amount of time into curating my closet into like what it is now, with like the color palette that it has, and like everything kind of goes with everything, and like, you know, it's really nice. I really enjoy that, and I don't have to worry about it. And the final thing is that I'm worried about, I have dark hair. I have on the darker side hair, and it's dark brown. And so I worry about going into a color that is a lighter shade than like my normal hair would be weird. Like, I don't, like, I wouldn't like how I look with lighter hair, because I don't think I'd be a good blonde or a good light brown or anything like that. So it's definitely another, like, not the saturation, the like tone of being, so then my brain settles on like, because you can't get like dark pink, okay? It just doesn't, like, it's not right. It's like gray, and I don't want to be like, you know, like rosy. You can't get the same tone. The closest would be like a purple or a blue, but it's just like my wardrobe is pastel.
Poor Ori would just be completely out of luck.
Yeah. Fine hair. I at least have thick hair, so I'm probably okay with that. So that's rough enthuse. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things where I'm just like, I'm also lazy, like as a person. Like I don't wear makeup. I don't like do anything nuts with my hair. Like I wash it nice and I take care of it, but I don't like curl it or anything.
Something
I'm fucking lazy.
Extraneous.
Yeah, I like how I
don't
look,
want to do it in the
and I'm
morning.
lazy.
I'd rather sleep.
Literally though.
I would literally rather sleep than put on makeup in the morning.
Yeah. So, you know, the level of like coordination that I have with my clothes is out of necessity to be able to be lazy about it. Makeup is also expensive, but also is a skincare routine, but I guess it's less expensive than makeup, and you're not ruining said skincare routine with your makeup.
A skincare routine isn't too bad.
My mom is retiring, and she's having, I don't know if you could call it her midlife crisis. I don't think it's a crisis, but she's like, you know, she's like finding herself now that she has like time back, and she's literally retiring like 2 weeks from now. So less than that, I think. So
good for her.
Yeah, her last day is a week from Friday, and she's honestly like barely even working between now and then. So she's using like vacation and stuff. So she's like gotten really into like skincare routine stuff, and is doing like this whole like the 10-step method or something, and she's telling me all about these products, and they're very expensive, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know my mother, and if I was to like talk to her and be like, a lot of these are not necessary, or you don't have to get the really expensive ones, but like let's talk about like these and whatever, that she'd be like, no, but this said, and then this said, and it's like, I know what the thing said, but it's not hurting her, and it's not like they're like going into like financial difficulties because of her skincare routine, but it is definitely like, I know she's spending a lot of money on stuff that doesn't really matter. Thank you, Nicole. Both of my parents will be retired now by the end of this month. My father's been retired for over 6 months now, and that'll be certainly interesting. Then both Dylan and my parents are retired, kind of literally just as we enter the workforce, which is kind of weird to think about.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I don't think Papa Mars is ever gonna stop working. I hope he does, but I don't know if he will. Maybe one day.
Hopefully one day.
I hope so.
Let Papa Mars rest.
He deserves
Let him have his hobbies. But yeah, so they're all gonna be retired now, and yeah, literally I'm like just starting my second job of like my career. Dylan just started his first in September, so it's definitely like kind of really wild. Versus
That
Mars will
is
probably be
nuts.
working for a while her parents are working. Her dad is working.
No, I'm definitely gonna be there for a hot minute.
Ah, you're so close, Pastry Puff. Papa Mars is Jupiter. Does that make Mama Mars Venus or Saturn?
These are the real questions. You guys are asking the real questions here.
Yes! Are your parents retired, Nicole? That would be the true question. It's just definitely like Dylan and I both have older parents, so it's just kind of how it worked.
Oh, that's the funny thing. I think my parents are just as old as yours.
Really? That's interesting
Yes.
then. You gotta tell your dad to stop working.
So I am the firstborn. A little Mars lore here. I am the firstborn. But my folks waited kind of late in life to have me. Oh, yeah, they were definitely a bit older.
My
They
parents
were
met
on
each
the
other
older
and
side.
got married later in life, so they didn't wait after getting married very long to have me, but they got married much later in life. Mama Mars is Hera. Oh, but Hera is for the Greek pantheon though. Juno would be the Roman Hera, so Juno then. So
This is an
we have
important
Mars.
distinction.
Papa Mars is Jupiter, and Mama Mars is Juno. Yeah, exactly. Wisdom. See, wisdom's on it.
I like these distinctions,
So
guys.
what would baby bro Mars be? Does Ares equivalent have a sibling? I don't know.
I feel like yes.
Technically, it's Zeus, so pick another
It's like
sibling.
Zeus. He has to. There's no
Isn't
way
Mercury
he doesn't.
one of them? Bro Mars can be Mercury.
I like Mercury.
Hephaestus?
Got a nice ring to it.
I think Roman is Vulcan, so there you go. You have Vulcan.
Vulcan. Ooh,
Vulcan.
Very cool. I feel like Bro Mars would like that. Little Bro Mars would like that. He'd be all over that.
Yes, Pastry Puff, I think so. All right, so you'll have been working for a bit then, Nicole, before your parents retire.
Okay.
It's definitely just wild to think about, because also like envy. Let me retire right now. I don't want to work.
I know, right? The pain.
But is Aphrodite technically Ares' sister? I don't think so. Because Aphrodite came from Neptune, not Zeus, so. That is true, Wisdom, that is true. Hephaestus and / Vulcan has that whole thing. Yeah,
Ooh,
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Pastry
the
Puff.
point.
This
That's
is
a very
the only
good point.
fully biological sibling? Ugh. Interesting, then. Your friend's parents seem like grandparents. Oh no, enthused. Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, the pain.
See, now we know we're in trouble.
Now I feel old.
Hey, what have you done?
No, there's like such a range, and I do think like our Mars and I's like age range of our parents definitely varied pretty greatly in like
Oh, yeah.
their age, and was definitely a lot significantly later in life than I think a lot of the other things. Diana?
Yeah, for some reason, it's just how
Which
it worked
one's
out.
Diana? Yeah, that's what I thought, Pastry Puff. But she's also not of Zeus. She's of Poseidon. So, wouldn't work. Which one's Diana? I know the Greek names much better than I know the Roman names, and thus my brain kind of goes to the equivalent backwards. Oh, it's Artemis.
Oh, duh.
But Artemis, it's usually Artemis and Apollo, though, right? So, Ares's sisters. Siblings. Enyo is his twin sister. So what is
Oh,
Enyo
okay.
in the Roman god? Bellona. There you go. Bromars is Bellona.
Bologna. I don't know if he'll like that as much.
Well, Eris is also a sister. You know, Bellona. Discordia is another option. Those are your options.
Discordia.
Okay, Bromars is Discord now. Okay, that's it. We can't do
I
that.
think that's just what we've ended up with.
I don't know if we could do that.
We can't? Why not?
Because then we're calling Bromar's Discord and the place where we talk Discord.
Oh. Tomato, tomato.
Hebe, Roman god. Roman name.
Oh, I love that song, Enthuse.
Oh, it's so good.
That brought me back to high school. Young Bromars is 3 years younger than me. So
Juventus.
we are pretty close.
That's
in
your
age.
last option, Juventus.
Juventus. All right, let's go with that.
We have Juventus, Discord, well, Discordia technically, or Bellona. Those are the options. Mars gets a whole pantheon. Or Ori, I don't think Ori really gets. We went away from Vulcan because of the possible concerning implications, but that's Mars's choice.
What were the concerning implications?
That he's like, a lot of the stories about him being like hideously disfigured and shunned for such disabilities. That's the word.
Oh, I see.
Otherwise Vulcan works if you're chill. It's your brother.
I mean, I'm chill with Vulcan.
All right, Vulcan it is. We've come full circle.
I think it sounds cool, actually.
It does sound very cool. I mean, he's god of the forge.
That he is.
Bologna. Baloney. Yeah. Ori doesn't have any siblings. But I also don't think that there's a good way to go. Papa and Mama Ori having fun names. The only other Gami I know is like Kirigami. Is there another Gami? Yeah, same pastry puff. Only child's for the win.
Enjoy that only child status.
You act like I'm gonna lose it. Enjoy it while it lasts. I hope it lasts for the rest of my goddamn fucking life. Jesus. Shirogami. A Reaper, oh no.
Oh. Oh dear.
Houghton needs to look more startled in this panel. How dare I leave him so
it's
nonchalant.
Not Houghton if he doesn't look absolutely panicked. Like,
it's
what are we doing if he's not terrified for his life?
You know, he's not he doesn't notice things. So,
If it's not science, he's not observant.
literally though.
That's that's his deal. If it's not science, he don't notice.
I mean, basically in this panel, like, Milano shows up. Everybody else, they're chilling, they're eating. Everybody else notices. Milano shows up behind Hosen. Hosen's like, what the hell? Milano steps over, sit down, and Hosen's like, what? Where did he come from?
It's just like, huh? Nani?
Nani the fuck.
Nani the fuck
I
indeed.
love this panel though. Look at my boy.
That's such a good panel. You know, for not liking the campfire scenes very much, you're doing a good job with them.
See, you misunderstand. I love the campfire scenes. Thus, I hate the campfire scenes. Because when I want the campfire scenes, it was before the 5th and the 6th game. I don't know. He's Captain Livery. Whatever the problem. This is
Captain
entry 5,
Livery.
page 10.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not sure what that is. What is Captain
Liberty? That makes more sense.
Oh, Liberty. Okay.
That's what I thought it was gonna be, but I wasn't gonna ask questions if I'm being honest.
I thought it might have been something else. There's always a chance, you know? I don't want to assume.
Exactly. But yes, this is entry 5, page 10. Yep.
I do believe so.
10. But no. The campfire scenes are great because I think about all the interactions and, you know, we get to draw all the interactions. But that means that every panel has like 8 fucking characters. Yeah, somehow it has 8 characters when there's only 5 characters. I know. It's nuts, but it happens.
It's crazy. This is the timeline we live in.
Come on. Give me the one. There it is. But so it's definitely like annoying because yeah, I do like them, but thus I go all out and it takes forever and it already takes forever. Thank you for the cookies, Roval.
Ah, you baked! Amazing.
And some biscuits too.
Ooh, we got
wow.
biscuits, you guys. Feel so special.
Edgy Aster Wing is so silly. I don't even know. Which one are you talking about? That one? Or one of the... This one? Oops, where is it? That one? I guess it's kind of solid here. It's hard to see, but it is separated.
Separated?
Yeah. Separated.
Separated? Okay.
Yes, indeed. But yeah. Here we go. I don't know if I mentioned today, but I got to sketch at work today. So fun.
So happy for you.
It was so fun, and it was great. And I need to do it more. I think it finally pushed me out of my like little bit of an art slump during the move and everything. So I think we're going now.
Oh, so glad.
Yeah, I needed it. Probably, Nicole, we will probably do cookies again for Streamiversary. That's when we did the first cookies, and everybody really seemed to like it.
Yes,
so
and we'll
keep
the tradition going.
And then we'll probably just recycle. We'll have new cookies then for that year.
Yes.
Out of the thing.
And they'll be so good.
And it'll be great.
So cute.
It'll be like that'll be our yearly Streamiversary thing. Because I think it was a nice way to get it. Everybody seemed to enjoy. We have a lot of fun cookies.
Draw.
And then we'll have a new thingy. Streamiversary is July.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay, Streamiversary is the same time I'm taking all my certification tests.
Yeah, Streamiversary is July.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, Enthuse, October, technically September, is like Ace Attorney anniversary, I guess, in video format. September is when we first started posting Ace Attorney videos on YouTube. So that's like
Yes.
a video anniversary, I guess.
We started doing that because originally we were playing another game called Wander Song, and Ori was uploading that every now and then.
Yeah, that's probably not
It
gonna
didn't gain a
ever
ton of traction,
continue.
but they were fun. It was a
It's
very
a much
cute
more
game.
indie game. I mean, all of the. I don't think the streams are on YouTube because I don't think we were doing that yet. But I think I have all the streams.
You did make a couple shorts.
I know there
remember.
were shorts. There's a couple videos as well. Should you go watch Water Song? No.
It really is us at our most simplistic. We had no idea what we were
it's
doing.
definitely us trying to
Didn't
find
know how to make
our
the stream
groove.
entertaining.
And it only has like 4 videos out, and I'm never gonna finish it. Almost definitely.
Yeah. It was rough.
But the shorts are fun. You can see how
The
bad
shorts
Ori
are
is a
fun.
game.
You do have to scroll back quite a bit to get them, but they are very fun.
But that's the least of the things I would
yes,
say.
Ori is very bad at game.
I'm very, very bad at game.
Just terrible at game.
But good news. Tangled Tower is slowly getting edited, very, very slowly. But because of having an editor cut stuff up and my new subtitling format, it'll happen eventually. It'll be very, very long compared to Elevator Hitch, though. Elevator Hitch was 1 stream that got 5 episodes. Tangled Tower is 3 streams. And they're like full-on long streams. The first...
Yeah, we went so ham with that.
And we went long, and I'm probably going to cut a lot of it out, so it will be significantly different than the streams. Mostly just because a lot of Tangled Tower was, like, extraneous in the sense of, like, trying to figure out what thing we didn't present to somebody. But it's still really good, and hopefully will be really fun. It's gonna be chaotic because Cinder was in it, and it was very chaotic.
Yes.
But that will be posted eventually.
Literally
Literally everything but Wander Song, that was a game that we played, will be posted as a video in some form or another. Paradise Killer will eventually have like a compilation video of just like our best moments, or, you know, in theory, worst moments because of us being angry or something at the game. But yeah. It's wild to see stuff come out, though, that still has the old avatars.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like, what the hell?
And then, of course, we'll have Cold Front eventually. I definitely like Boo on which part? On the Wander Song part? Or on the cutting stuff out part? Which is the Boo part? I wasn't checking chat often enough.
What are we booing?
I don't know. I'm being booed.
Oh no.
Boo on Paradise Killer in general. Okay, yeah. There are still some bits where I think it's funny because of Mars and I, and not the game. Like, off the top of my head,
Definitely funny.
I can think of a few funny bits, but it'll literally be like,
the game itself was like, wow.
It'll be set up like a redirect and not like a normal series, I guess.
Yeah. It'll definitely be a best of reel.
Yeah. It'll be like a redirect and not like a series. I think that's just the way to do it. And this, you know, it has some read stuff value.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
But that'll be good. And then I think it'll be funny, because I know there's a part... Maybe I did archive it. I must have.
You might have, because I do remember watching it on YouTube.
It's definitely, there was a couple of videos on YouTube, but I think after I talked with Dylan about, like, if I was ever gonna do it or not, like, have it on the list of things to finish, he was like, nah. And
I can see why.
I think he's mostly not because, like, his mic was bad. His mic deal was really bad at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we had to fix that in Ace Attorney, and that wasn't until, like, Turnabout Samurai that we, like, had it set good. So, honestly, the audio quality on all those videos is fairly cringe. Not like we're, like, professionals or anything now, but just, like,
No,
in
but we
general.
definitely. I was still on my earbuds back in those days, guys.
Yeah,
I was still on my freaking earbuds. You can imagine how my voice sounded. It was horrible.
Yeah, they are unlisted. I did unlist them. So yes. Ta-da.
Ta-da!
Yeah, at this point I wouldn't want to upload a lower quality video indeed.
Yeah, we got a brand to maintain at this point.
It's funny, but it's somehow true, which is weird, if I'm being honest.
It's like, it's not true, but yes, it's also
I'm
true.
just happy with how well received Elevator Hitch has been.
Yeah, same here. I was not expecting that to take off like it did.
I was not expecting it to do so well. I mean, the second Elevator Hitch did not do super great compared to the first one. Did awesome. The second one did, kind of low. The third one did really good, and that one had the Ace Attorney thumbnail, so I think that probably aided in it.
I think we drew some people towards us.
Yeah, or maybe they meant to watch it.
They're like, oh, sweet, Ori uploaded an Ace Attorney video.
Yeah.
Psych.
But
ha ha ha, we tricked you.
So yeah, that's probably the oldest thing we'll have uploaded is like Elevator Hitch, besides Ace Attorney, obviously.
Yeah.
That'll be that.
And then Coldfront. Honestly, I can't wait for Coldfront to go up. I love your voice acting. I loved my voice acting. The story was good. The moments were
I'm very
good.
excited
like,
for that
I'm
one.
Excited for that one.
It'll also be fun because that'll be like Elevator Hitch again, where it's just like roughly 5 episodes probably, which will be good.
Highlight reel.
It's like, and this is what I'd be doing with Tangled Tower. It's like in between, right? In Ace Attorney, I do specifically try to keep it relatively, what's the word?
Focus?
I don't know if focus would be the thing, but like where you could, like, you don't have to play the game to know what's going on, right? This could be your only knowledge about the game is watching us play the game, right? Like it's like a true let's play, right? Like I definitely care about the story of it, but also Ace Attorney as a game is fairly like forward moving, right? There's not a lot of extraneous stuff that you could go into for super long, and we're definitely comfortable with it, so we banter really easily about it. I did in things like Elevator Hitch and Tangled Tower and probably a little bit of Coldfront, there are like tangents that we get off on that like don't relate to actually playing the game at all that I'll like cut out, and I cut out those every once in a while in Ace Attorney, like really long tangents that are just like life story things. It's like no, that's a stream thing. You watch the whole stream if you really want that sort of stuff, but it happens a lot more rarely in Ace Attorney. But like I did definitely cut out certain like things of that in Elevator Hitch. I know Elevator Hitch specifically like repeats, right? So unless we said something funny, I would cut out like us going back through something, or like discussing. Sometimes we discussed for a really long time what to do next, and it's just like not in not in like a theorizing way, in a literally just how do we play game next way.
We don't know what to do.
Yeah, so it was like I would cut out a bunch of that stuff.
That was funny,
because it was
though.
still like a 3-hour stream that only had 5 episodes, so I did cut a significant amount of it out, but it's like I wouldn't say it's at the level of the Cliff Notes version. That's what basically Paradise Killer will be, just us messing around with game, because honestly I have no idea what's going on with the story there either, so it'll just be whatever. But
he'll be like, if you know the game, great. If you don't, you're just as confused as the rest of us.
Yeah, Tangled Tower has a lot of moments where, one, there's tangents because even compared to Dylan's Cinder is incredibly chaotic. So there's a lot of moments where it's just like, yeah, we can cut this out and not have to do all that. And two, there's a lot of like, there's a lot more like trying to just hit all the evidence, right? Like get to a point, and there's a lot of little things that like we don't comment on in any sort of meaningful way.
True,
yes,
true.
Yes, enthused. So the last episode, which comes out next Sunday, well, this Sunday, I guess, this Sunday, has new content. And now it has no voice acting in it because there really is no voice acting to be involved. It's just the game. And it's just me playing the game very briefly. Because there's a secret, because in doing research for the video itself, I learned that there was a secret ending to Elevator Hitch that we obviously didn't get, and it just has to do with how we went back and how we didn't know how the game worked. But so what I did is that, because it was very easy, I got the secret ending because we had literally done all the work, we just didn't do it in the way that they needed it to be done.
It wasn't in the way the game intended.
Basically the secret ending is you have to get all of the endings, and then you get a secret ending. However, you have to get them all in one run. We stopped one run, went back, got the extra endings just for the content, and then finished our run. And thus didn't have all the endings on the same run, and didn't get the secret ending.
Yeah.
What we didn't know is that what turns out is that after you get the final ending that we get in the last episode, before the secret ending, you can actually play the game again, still on the same save file, and get the endings that you didn't get. So, and that's how I got the secret ending in the end, because I knew how to get them. So it's just a little, like, Easter egg thing. That's, like, a little extra. A little fun ending. I know Nicole liked it. I don't know if Nicole is still here. But, because Nicole is a Chad Psychic Sidekick YouTube channel member, she got to see all the episodes before, and she specifically commented on that she liked the ending of it. So I hope you guys like it too. And that is Sunday.
That is the benefit, you guys.
Yeah, I strive to make the videos not just cut up stream content, so that there is value in rewatching it even if you were on stream, that there is value in watching both if you're that much of a Chad.
And Dory does a great job of cutting stuff up.
I appreciate it. And of course, you know, so the videos, it gets cut up, so it's a little more streamlined, but thus you lose a little bit of our, like, weirdness and stuff like that. Very little in Ace Attorney compared, but
just a little bit of our weirdness, not a ton.
There's a couple, like, chat asides where I'll, like, cut that out because that's, like, that's part of stream, you know? That's not like you don't need that in the video where we, like, talk, where Dylan, like, goes on a long tangent talking to chat or something.
Yeah.
But
most people don't want that on YouTube.
No, you don't need it, you know? That was a stream only experience, and if you want that, you can watch the VOD. They're all up. But yeah, and then of course the videos have the memes, which stream doesn't have, and the fun other video editing stuff that I do. So, I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to pitch this to you guys. I'm pretty sure everybody here is already watching the parts that they care about.
You know, you never know. It could happen.
This is true. But I do enjoy editing them all, so it's fun. And the thumbnails are fun. So
yes.
It's the best of both worlds. But yeah, the one thing about doing anything but Ace Attorney on YouTube is just that I don't want to pause the Ace Attorney uploads. So basically, I wait until all of that series is done edited. So it's like I edited Elevator Hitch all at once.
Ori
so I
has
do
an
have an editor
now.
for part of it.
So her life just got so much
Actually,
easier.
I'm allowed to say it's Grenade. And Grenade, what he mainly does right now is he just cuts up the videos. And very indiscriminately, in the sense of that, like, he doesn't make decisions. Yeah, I know, right? he's in film school, so it's very fun. He's done a lot of like DaVinci Resolve stuff that I didn't know about, so I'm like learning as well.
We
It's
got
very
a
interesting.
professional now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he did like audio balancing, really really basic, like incredibly basic audio balancing, and I was just like, yeah, this is already way better. And he adds every once in a while. So basically, his main role is to cut out the silent parts of the video. So it's basically like if we pause or we're waiting for the line to read and we're silent, like he's cutting all that out. So he's not cutting out any of the things that I'm talking about where I'm actually making like a decision on what to cut out or not, because I'm a very controlling person. I want to make the decisions.
Ori has a very specific way she likes doing things.
But he has added a couple of his own little like video edits, like, you know how I like make like the camera shake or like wavy or something. Like he's done some of his own in the when he cuts it up, which is really fun. So there's a couple of his own little bits in there, and that's really neat. And then I recently, because necessity breeds ingenuity, as we said earlier, I needed to streamline my process a lot more. And one of the longest parts of the process is the subtitling, because I did it by hand. But now I looked into, I have it transcripted, and then I fix it. But it makes 3 steps down to 1 step, and thus cuts out essentially an hour of my process. So between Grenade and that, I've shaved off 2 hours of my editing process, and that makes it sustainable, because otherwise it would not be sustainable. And the only reason I can afford Grenade is because I have a job, which is the problem in the first place. Oh, that's really funny, but
see what having a job can get you guys?
Yeah. Less time, and thus you have to use the money from your job to pay someone to do the thing you have less time for. No, honestly, it has been great so far having Grenade. It'll be a little bit before you see a video that he has specifically touched, just because, you know, backlog and all that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, but it's very far in the future.
I mean, it's not that.
I mean,
that
not
far.
super
Maybe like
far,
a month.
but
Usually about a month from now.
Yeah, I count that as far.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so about a month from now is you'll see episodes that he has had a hand in, and that this new method of subtitling has had a hand in, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
But I will admit,
forward to that when it comes around.
When I first moved and like started my job, I was kind of stressed about trying to make everything happen and consistently keep happening and everything. But as everything has slowly settled down, and you know, and I've set this up with Grenade, and I've learned these new techniques, it's gotten easier.
Onward and upward, as they say.
Yeah, I mean that was more just luck enthuse that I had that because of the Ace Attorney videos. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had anything for the charity stream. It's really funny. Kaz never like specifically mentioned that like the main goal was to have like face cams, but I kind of just was like, I accept whatever comes. Yeah, it was already, so the videos are roughly a month ahead at this point, which I've managed because of the redirects. So honestly, the redirects are really nice because they're like a really simple editing thing that I actually can do while continuously editing videos. So they like add a video in, which is really, really nice. And since we had a bunch of like redirects together, that was the whole thing. Yeah, that asset was created because of the video, so it was already edited and I think completely finished and scheduled for upload by the time we did the charity stream. So it was just kind of a little extra like, oh, I have this, I can use this on my PNG tuber avatar. But that's why I'm also happy that I had that like interview desk. I think it's called my video call like a screen. Yeah, this one where it's just me. And I'm really, really looking regal because it works really well for video calls. Honestly, I have learned so much about being not even like a VTuber, just a PNG tuber, and like how it all works, that I never have to have a face cam again. It's pretty fucking neat. I mean, I'd probably, to be a VTuber, then you have to have like face camera related stuff. And I'm not exactly sure how I want to go about that, because it's like, Apple is sadly, and I do say sadly because I don't have Apple stuff, the best for like the face tracking. They just have like the most updated, and they have like a fancy camera with depth perception. So debating on when I get to rigging my VTuber model. Yeah, that's the sad part. My VTuber model is cut up, ready to go. I have to rig it, which is another thing that I want to do this year. It's just the step that I have to get to. And again, I've just accepted that January's kind of like settle down and get in the rhythm of things. And we'll get to that when we get to that.
February will come along, and then you can do more stuff.
I do hope to rig her and have that going, because I do like all of that. Dylan has found a channel of class of sculpting stuff. So awesome, he did my step 1.
Bye, Wisdom.
Good night, Wisdom. Thanks for hanging out. Would I have to... Okay, so we're gonna talk about this a little bit. I refuse, flat out, right now, to make VTubers for anybody but myself. Now, what that means, and I'm specifically talking about Mars and Dylan, and a little Doug, but mostly Mars and Dylan. Now, the reason for this is twofold. One, because I barely know how it's going to go with mine. 2, because I cannot be tech support. While I live with Dylan now and could help him, he is the least of my concerns, no offense,
Doesn't
Mars,
live with me.
about
No,
computer
that's fine.
stuff.
I totally understand.
And I cannot help Mars should something go wrong in any viable, easy capacity. And on top of that, her computer, well, she has like a slightly newer one now. It's still a laptop and not that strong, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And like I said, to be a VTuber, you have to have the camera, which is usually a phone, and then you have to have your computer, has to run like 8 different, like there's a lot going into it. So I don't actually plan to ever have the VTuber model be a stream thing. I would never not be a PNG tuber on stream, for the reasons of I don't need my computer to have to handle that too. I don't need to have to worry about all the stuff they're doing it live, and I don't want to have me just be this cool new VTuber while Mars and Dylan are PNG tubers. I don't want to have that, like, I don't know, power dynamic. I like, we're all the same. We're all nice. Like, that's why we go back to the old avatars when we play Baldur's Gate with Doug, because then we're all at the same level of, like, coolness. You know, no one's, like, standing out. Because we're not, so it's not like, it's not my stream, you know, even though I say that. When I say my stream, I still mean, like, Mars has a say in it, too.
Not
But, like,
Ori's stream and we're all just living in it.
yeah, it's not like I'm the host and Mars is the guest every week, or Dylan's the guest. You know, it's like, this would not be a thing without Mars, without Dylan. You would not be doing the Ace Attorney. So the goal of so kind of in the Ori lore sphere, my very original PNG tuber model I consider to be called Camden, because that was my original sort of like Sona that I was using for the Origami Curio Instagram, and that was where like everything stemmed from. So she was Camden.
Yeah. And Camden modeled her own shit, what's the word? I can't think of the word.
I have no idea.
Items.
Oh yeah, items and spells, and she has like some lore and backstory
she modeled
stuff
that
going
too.
on.
She was very cool.
Camden is actually like a lore bard changeling, so that means that she could be any race and any spell, because that helps with the curio stuff, because then she could be any race as needed, and she can be any cast any spell as needed to show it all off. But and then Mars was just kind of slotted in there, quick and drawn, to be like, okay, we're PNG tubers now. Let's go. And so then on our Streamiversary, when I had learned a little more about animating and PNG tubing and this GIF tubing and like everything about that, because I will say
Yeah.
it is
What a time to be
it is
alive.
it is like a step up thing to do it to make sure that we can be separate. Because actually, originally when we first started streaming, I used a specific integrated program within OBS, the streaming software, that made it so it picked up on my voice as one channel, because I have one channel as the mic, and then there's another channel that's the desktop audio, which includes Mars and any other sounds my computer makes. So if there was to be a third person through Discord, they would both technically, quote unquote, talk through her model, which obviously is not ideal. But at the beginning, that
would have been
really
weird.
doing crazy stuff, so it was just that was kind of how it was. Then I've learned, as I continued to research and everything, I learned about Reactive Fuji, which is a website that's free and it connects to your Discord, and it is basically what we have used ever since. It literally got an update like in the last couple months that has been absolutely fantastic.
Which honestly not a bad update.
I
really like
update.
that it saves
Fantastic
your
update.
skins.
Yeah,
like,
basically
that's
you can
fantastic.
have toggle options instead of having to re-upload our different outfits every single time.
Which drove me crazy.
Yeah.
So this was
now
a
you can
quality
save
of
it,
life improvement.
which is really cool.
So good.
And we were using that for a while. That's what allowed Dylan to join us and be on a separate line instead of both him and Mars talking through the same avatar, basically.
Yeah, that was wild.
And then, and so that's how we were using. Then I learned how to make gifts and how to gift tube and how that all kind of works. And I have new information that might appear in our next update during our Streamiversary 2024.
Oh my.
But and that's how we get the models we have now. It was sort of that update and learning how to do that and just learning a little more leaning into like VTuber-esque thing with the sense of like how I cut up the model to like make changing outfits easier. Because I will say changing Dylan's outfit in his old model really sucked because his hands were in front of his body. And so I had to like erase his hands out of the outfit every time because it was one layer. And obviously that was really annoying and ridiculous. So I like fixed that in all of our new models where his arms, all of our forearms are on another layer in front. So I don't have to erase anything and have it be weird and like jittery. But so this model I call Ori because she is Ori and she was specifically made for this purpose, and her design is different and everything like that. She is distinct from Camden now. Ori is not Camden in the lore-averse of whatever we want to call this whole thing. In the Folding Planets lore.
The Lori-verse.
So now, do I want to show my model? Maybe I'll show my model. I'll show the VTuber model. We'll see it.
Oh, do it.
Okay,
I want to
okay.
see. I'm so curious.
I've showed it to you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, Mars has no memory
Mars
after
has no
long
brain right
days.
Where is it? I don't even know where it is, if I'm being honest. Now I have to figure. Oh, here it is. Okay. I think this one is fine. Let's see if it opens properly. But so this model, yeah, here she is. This model, she has a new name. Hello, Oscar. And she is Cersei. So she's different because her main purpose and purpose for being created is to make YouTube videos that I hope to happen that involve Zycy, the false alchemist, the Douglas Fir character we made, and hopefully we'll make more of them. So yeah, there's a lot of background stuff happening all at once, and a lot of maybe they're fever dreams. Ori likes to do a lot of stuff. And so this is Cersei, and yeah, she's sort of based on a mix of the original Camden design and just being more of like an arborist vibe. Her name is Cersei because she's based off, and there's little elements you can see here in the earrings, the headband, and the lapel clips, and this little design here. I like have a love-hate relationship with drawing shoes, if I'm being completely honest. But she's based off the tree called the Eastern Redbud, which is probably one of my favorite broadleaf trees, if not my favorite broadleaf tree. Honestly, I lean a lot more towards conifers otherwise, but my favorite broadleaf tree. And the scientific name is Cercis canadensis, so she's Cersei. And that's how we got here. But yeah, so she still keeps my color palette because I really love my color palette, if I'm being honest. I wouldn't want to change anything about that. And yeah, she is. Hello, Amon. This is the VTuber, yes. This is cut up, everything as well. Literally, she's finished in the art level. All I have to do is bring her into the rigging software and actually start the rigging process, which is not particularly difficult, just long. But you know, it's a certain thing. Thank you, Amon. Yeah, so Eastern Redbud has heart-shaped leaves, and it has these little seed pods, and there's these little tiny pink flowers all over. You've finished pastry puff, success. But I obviously went a little more ham on the rendering, so that's an interesting thing. Because of the nature of PNGs, smooth shading doesn't really work, because when you render something into a GIF, it kind of doesn't have that capability as a PNG or a JPEG would. So I'm forced to cell shade. Yes, Oscar, they're based on the seed pod of the Eastern Redbud. And this is the flower of the Eastern Redbud, and the leaf again. And these are my trusty pruners and my hori hori, and which are my two favorite tools ever.
Which Hotsun uses in the comic.
Yes.
He uses a hori hori.
A hori hori. That's my favorite
It's also
gardening
just
tool.
super fun to say.
It is. But her whole outfit is based on kind of like, I don't know how to, it's like steampunk is the word that like went into the search bar, but it's like modern rendition of past explorer outfits. Does that make sense?
I could see it, yeah.
Ooh, nice, Amon. That's great.
Very, very nice.
But yeah, so the PNG tuber avatars have to be cell shaded because of the nature of being a GIF. Versus Cersei can be lots more smoothly rendered because she's going to be a whole separate thing. And it's very neat and it's very cute. And this is the goal, yeah. But it's really wild. I don't even know where half of my layers are at this point. Mouth. Yeah, so the mouth is like, yeah, oh, that's nightmare fuel. Warning, nightmare fuel.
Jesus. That's terrifying. What the hell?
Yeah, so the way that the mouth works is you actually have like an upper lip and the lower lip. Whoops. And they cover the inner mouth. And then so you have to have the rest of the mouth in different layers.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but that's the secret underneath.
Ori's secretly a demon.
But what it allows you to do is if I were to do this mesh, and I zoom in here. So this is basically what like it would be. So I can like just raise up the mouth. And this is sort of basic, like very basically what rigging looks like. So I can like open the mouth and it just uncovers the teeth.
That's wild.
And that's how rigging works.
Huh.
So that would
The more you know, guys.
And then like the bottom lip, I could go like this. And like, lower the lip.
Jesus.
But you have to like make it connect. So yeah, so there you go. There's a basic look into what I would have to do to rig.
That's wild.
But that's kind
That's
of how the
so
whole thing
crazy.
works. Yeah, that's how the whole thing works. And that's why, like, if I wanted, like, my tongue to be able to stick out, I'd have to be able to, like, put it over. You know, that's, like, a whole different thing. There's, like, another tongue asset and everything. But that's how it all works. No, I don't want to save. Can't trick you, that's witchcraft. But that's basically all it is. So how I blink would be, like, taking the eyelash line and, like, transforming it down. But, like, okay, I'll reopen it because it's easier to show. Like, so you have, like, my eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have the eye, and let me actually find where the eye is. Here's the eye. So is this the right eye or this is the left eye? Because it's her left eye, which I have to remember. But so it's like, that's not all one piece. It has the bottom. Let's close this for a second. It has the bottom lash here, and then it has the side lash one, this side one, that side one, this inner one, and the top one. Those are all different ones. And then the eyelid has both its line and its shadow, which is two separate things. And then the eyeball has, like, a bunch of different stuff of, like, the white, but they're clipped on so that everything stays within itself. And it's just a whole lot of stuff.
Man, I give riggers so much
How
credit
many
for
layers
figuring
is
this
it?
all out.
I don't know, because they're not labeled by number anymore. I might be able to see if I add a layer. Let's see. If I add a layer, what does it say? Nope, it just says layer 1. Because they're not like numbered anymore. So I don't know. A fuck ton. Because that's how VTuber models work. It's a fuck ton. And that's all I have to say about that. I mean, the hair itself is like, that's the headband is two separate pieces, and you have all this under hair. These are all separate pieces, and then her other hair is different. Where is that? Somewhere else. The ponytail. Boop 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 boop. And then we have the hair behind her head, which is like other stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot. It took a long time.
It's definitely involved.
Yes, so the layers are named purposefully because it's important. Oh, yeah, this hair. Excuse me. It's important that they are named a certain way so that when I open them in, not even the rigging program, another program that is good for making the movement of the models smoother, that they have the proper names. Is her bald is a layer? Bald is not a layer. There's like front bangs would be, but so you can see head _G means head group, eyes group, because, and then it's left eye group, and then it has the lashes like, and then finally the actual lashes. That's like it's a whole thing. This took a long time. So honestly, I have the hard part done, if we're being completely honest. The fact that she exists like this. But I just have to get up the courage and motivation to actually do the rigging. But I think
we believe in you, Ori.
That's the place we're gonna leave off, because it is 11:24.
We learned a lot tonight.
We did learn a lot tonight. A lot of Ori lore, a lot of chatting, and a lot of
some Mars lore
stuff for Mars lore.
Rigging.
We made the whole Mars family universe.
Yes. Couldn't have done it without you guys.
But yes, thank you everybody for coming out tonight, for hanging out with us on this comic and chill session. There will probably be a lot more of these in the future, but hopefully not as consistent as they are right now. But we hope to see you all on Thursday Yep. Thursday
Yes.
for Drawing and
Thursday.
Dragons, which is another chill stream as well. Just kind of chilling while I work on commission stuff because we
Yeah,
gotta
this
make
week
the
is very
time
calm.
happen. Yeah, this week is really chill.
This is a calm,
Of course,
calm
Ace
week.
Attorney on Friday, but the big
Yes.
thing is next week is our comic anniversary, Outcast
Outcast
anniversary, literally a week from
anniversary.
today. Gotta be there, be square. There'll be more stuff in the Discord about it. You won't want to miss it, I promise. And with that, we will see you all Thursday.
Yes.
And thank you, channel members. I don't know if I said that already.
Yes. Thank you so, so much to our YouTube members. You are all amazing. And everyone in chat is absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming out.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I have to go to bed. Mars does too.
I do too.
All right, guys.
I got a long, long day tomorrow.
Good night.
Night all.